Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope you all had a great weekend. It is Sunday night, July 13th, and we're going to see what this market is up to. And here we go. Let's get fired up. And I like Chris Elevate. Dougie's picks killed it last week, and he wasn't even trying. That's right. And I guess, not even trying to cut off the tip of my finger this weekend, and I managed to do that as well. But here we go. Let's get into it, and I'll tell you all about that. It's a great story as usual. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And here we go. Here you go, guys. Look, that's what my finger looks like, all wrapped up. And I love duct tape or electrical tape. That's not duct tape. It's electrical tape. That's what I use as a Band-Aid all the time. I just carry around a huge roll of electrical tape all the time, and you have yourself a great Band-Aid. And for kids, you get like different colored electrical tape, and then they like it. It's way better than Band-Aids. I'm telling you, Band-Aid gets wet, it falls off. Electrical tape works. So I do have it all wrapped up, and then I always put electrical tape around it. But there you go. And I'll tell you that story. It is, oh my goodness, guys. I am definitely out of my mind crazy and definitely not doing anything crazy again, because I end up doing this stuff with this brain injury. And I literally just go into like this brain fog. It's the most bizarre thing. I can't even explain it. And I've talked about it before. It's unexplainable. I have no idea. It doesn't even make sense to me. Everything looks like a good idea at first. I feel like I can do it, and then I get in the middle of doing things, and it just becomes like, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So I'll tell you what happened. I'm just cleaning out my sheds there, because I had done the new shed and I threw everything in the other sheds and all that good stuff. So now I was cleaning them out, organizing them. I'm like, I haven't used a go-kart in like over a year. I don't drive it, so it just takes up mad room. And I'm like, let me put it in this enclosed trailer that I'm gonna kind of get rid of everything and sell that too. So I'm kind of trying to get rid of everything. And then I pull this thing out, and of course, the tires are like flat. I fill it up with air, and and yeah, everything seems like a good idea to me. I'm telling you, it's wild. But anyway, so I fill this thing up with air. I throw a little gas, and it might even still have gas, because if you use any lawn equipment or anything like a go-kart or something, anything that you don't use all the time, just buy that non-ethanol gas stuff at Home Depot or whatever, and it has like a 2-year shelf life. You don't have to worry about your carb getting gunked up. That's what you can winterize your stuff with. Your weed whackers, they make the 50-to-1 ratio stuff. I think it's in a red can or something, and it's great, guys. I mean, you use that stuff and you don't have to worry about using anything else, and like really winterizing anything. It'll just be, you'll fire it up right away. So like I said, I haven't even used this thing in over a year. I pull it one time, the thing just fires right up. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, here, I'll hop on it and drive around the block real quick. Of course, I don't even put a helmet on like an idiot, because I have a brain injury. So I just go zipping out, and this thing's pretty quick, guys. I have a pretty fast little go-kart, and so I go flying out the driveway, and I just go zipping around the block. I actually see two of the neighbors chasing their dog around the block, and I'm like, hey, they're like carrying it around the street, and I'm flying around, and I come back into my driveway, and I'm like, oh shit, where'd my phone go? And so I'm like, man, I lost my phone. And instead of being smart and thinking about things and like just getting up and looking to see if it's in the go-kart, and I'm like, here, I'll just ride around the block and look. And then I get like halfway around the block, and of course the go-kart's vibrating, because it's a go-kart. I'm flying around like a maniac, and I'm like, oh shit, do I feel the phone next to me? So I put my hand down to see if I feel it. Now, again, I have zero perception. I used to be able to see, like, I can't see my hands like this, guys. Like, I don't have no peripheral vision, and perception's completely off. So I think I just put my hand straight down, and this go-kart's like, yeah, it's a go-kart. You don't have much room. Right behind the seat is the open chain. Like, it's right there. It's like literally like a couple inches away from the seat. And I got these long ass lanky arms, like real skinny lanky arms. And I just put my arm down to see if I feel the phone, and I guess I just go right outside of the go-kart, and I'm flying around on this thing. So my arm must have just swung back enough. And I mean, look, my arm, my fingers, I got really long fingers and arms. It's crazy. And yeah, I guess that next thing I know, I was like, what the fuck was that? And yeah, my ring finger literally got caught in the chain, like full speed. I'm flying around on a go-kart. I stick my finger in the chain like a maniac. And yeah, it ripped, literally ripped like the tip of my finger completely off. And so now I'm like, I still don't even know where my phone is at this point. So now I'm like sucking on my finger, like, because it's gushing blood. And I just put it in my mouth and driving around the block. And I'm like, oh shit, there's my fucking phone. I'm like, I didn't really need to put my hand down like a moron. So yeah, I pick up my phone because that's like literally like 3 houses away from my house. And as I'm coming back around the curve, it must have came flew out my pocket. And so yeah, now I'm sitting there trying to like, I'm just sitting there holding my finger in my mouth because it's bleeding everywhere. And I grab my phone and I go into my house. Well, I drive into the driveway and I get into the backyard, and my wife and my little guy are in the pool next door. I told you I take care of my neighbor's pool, and they just go swimming all the time. We go swimming all the time. If not, nobody really uses the pool, so we use it. And she wants us to anyway. But anyway, so they're in the pool, and I pull up on my go kart. Now I had just left like a minute ago. I wasn't gone very long, and my wife like just like hanging out in the pool, and I come pulling in with my finger in my mouth, and I'm like yelling at her because the go kart's loud. I'm like, "Yo, I just cut my finger off. We gotta go to the hospital." And she's like looking at me, and I'm like, "No, we really do." And I like put my finger in the air, and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, she's like, "Oh my god!" So just to get my little guy out of the pool. And yeah, I run in the house to try to grab some stuff, and my daughter's in there, and I'm like, "Oh Maya, help me! I just like cut my finger off." So grab me some towels and some ice packs and stuff. And she's like, you never know what you're gonna get with me. I'm insane, guys. This is like, I'm crazy. And so yeah, I go to the hospital, and they take forever anymore. But anyway, we go to the hospital, and I actually got pretty damn lucky. I'm not gonna lie, because the doctor was asking me questions, and he's like, "Any health changes in the last few years?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, I suffered a major brain injury 2 years ago. It's probably why I did this. I don't make good decisions, and I get in like this brain fog, and then I just do dumbass shit, and I gotta stop doing it because I'm gonna end up dead." He's like, "What happened?" So I tell him, I'm like, "Oh, I got hit with a 10-ton jack with the pressure of a 2-story house." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "How the hell are you alive?" And I so now he's like kind of interested. He's an older guy. He was awesome. He looked like Colonel Sanders, and he was super, super awesome doctor. You don't find doctors like that anymore, to be honest with you. Actually cared. He came back like 2 more times before the nurse even changed the dressing to get me out, and was like, "Hey, they didn't change the dressing yet," and then ended up getting somebody different. And he was like, "Let me get you out of here." But yeah, he was super cool, and he was asking me all kinds of questions. And I showed him the pictures, and he was blown away by the head injury more than my finger. And he just was like, "Dude, you are pretty tough." He's like, "You're in here like you're half your finger missing the tip of your finger, and you're in here laughing about it like it's no big deal." I'm like, "Yeah, it's just another day in my life, I guess, but I have to stop doing this crazy shit because I'm gonna end up dying." And so they x-rayed it, and he was like, "Dude, I don't know how you got my bone's literally sticking out of my finger. I could see my bone, and you can see the bone, and that's how bad it is." And yeah, so he's like, "I don't know how you missed the bone, but somehow you got really lucky. You missed the bone, and you should be okay. But you better go see a hand specialist, a hand surgeon, just to make sure I can bend it and all." And and I actually have a good buddy, actually my crypto wow buddy, recently, like I guess about 6, 8 months ago, lost the tip of his finger. He was outgrowing, I forget what happened, but he like reached in something and it just took his finger off. It was crazy. So I was talking to him, and his was a little worse than mine. So I should be pretty good. The doctor, I think it'll be all right. It's just going to take a couple months to heal. And yesterday, I'll tell you what, was the worst of it all, because not like, you cut your finger, and it was pretty bad that it went down, and you don't feel everything. They start cleaning it out, then the air starts hitting, and it starts getting stings, and it starts hurting. Well, I knew last night changing the dressing was just going to be absolutely insane, because this thing was bleeding like crazy, and then they had to gauze it up and clot it, and then that gauze is going to be stuck to it, and you don't have a choice but to get that off and have to clean it. And I was like, holy cow, this is not going to be good. And Yeah, I ended up that was the most painful thing I've probably experienced in a long time. I mean, I know my wife was like, "Holy shit, I haven't seen you like in that much pain in ever probably." So yeah, I take pain pretty well, but that shit stung pretty bad last night and having to get that gauze off. But today wasn't so bad, and it's just throbbing a little bit as I cut my damn tip of my finger off, and yeah, it's like I said, the bones fall sticking out. You can see it. And it got some of the nail. I ain't even gonna put a picture up. It's pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie. So nothing nobody wants to see. Futures are red like my finger is. Trust me, it's torn up, but I honestly think it'll heal pretty well. So it'll take a little time, and I'm gonna be a lot slower typing now because my finger looks like that. And so anyway, that was my fun time. Like literally, the market closes on 4 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, let's go out and have fun for a minute and cut my finger off the tip of my finger. I'm insane, guys. I'm telling you. So anyway, I think I'm done doing like power things like that because some reason things just start moving fast and I don't know what the hell's going on. My brain just gets like completely foggy. And I used to love that stuff clearly and be able to be great at it, but not anymore. So I made the decision. That was it. That was the last straw right there because clearly I would have never done something that crazy before. I'm not gonna lie. So crazy, crazy, crazy. So now I got to deal with that nonsense. But anyway, I hope everybody else had a good weekend and didn't cut the tip of their finger off. And Bitcoin did hit 119,500 just a moment ago. It's new all time high. It just keeps hitting all time highs. And like I told you guys, it was going to be cruising. So there you go. That's what happened to me. Hope you guys had a good weekend and we'll cruise through and see what's going on in the market and what's going to be happening this week. I think it's going to be an interesting one. And who knows, we still might see that pullback, but there's plenty of good ones setting up. So we'll be good to go to rock and roll and crush the market. Last week was just one of them weird weeks where it was coming off the holiday and didn't really trust it. Friday, there were some great setups for the going in over the weekend that are going to be solid. I was mentioning them on the Discord. So anyway, let's rock and roll and see what's going on. And how is everybody? Punjab and Luis Rodriguez, Chris Bait is on, and Laptop Travel, of course. Zach is right there, and a bunch of other people. Fly Eagles Fly, and yeah, GameStop is getting set up, dude. I'm telling you, we were talking about that. Hands off to you, GameStop getting set up. He getting set for the swing. Yeah, dude, that guy's looking good. Here we go with my crazy typing. I was trying to practice, but GameStop definitely getting set up. Remember we were talking about last week. I was like, I don't know if it's getting through that 20. It was AMC. I didn't think GameStop we thought was looking good. AMC I didn't think was getting through the 20, and obviously it did on Friday. And it jumped up and looks pretty good. And it's probably going to get into this channel, guys. So, yeah, these meme ones seem to be popping up here and getting ready. So GameStop getting set because of its Bitcoin treasury. And there you go. That's why they are popping up. AMC, remember we were talking about this before, and I was wondering if they had a Bitcoin treasury. It would have been a good idea for them when I had mentioned it back then, because I know Bitcoin was probably under 80K when I was saying it, and they probably would have made a ton of money. But anyway, anything that has to do with Bitcoin or crypto treasury is going to be flying this week. I totally agree. And we will be checking them out. So here we go. Let's take a look. Go through the list. See what you guys want to look at. I see some up here. And we'll go through everything. And I'll see how I can type here. So it'll be a fun little challenge. So yeah, just bear with me. I'm probably going to type a bunch of stuff wrong. But it is what it is. And I don't know how I'm going to drop my water. It's going to be fun. So yeah, I just gotta take my time and try to not knock any water over, spill anything, or break anything. So we'll be all right. Let me just cruise along here, and yeah, I'm dealing with my finger, so it's fun stuff. It's always interesting in my world. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna try to tone things back and just kind of hang out in my shed that I built and made for trading. And I guess that's what I can do, because clearly the other shit's just not in my cards anymore. And I used to love to do like everything, but I guess I gotta be a little more chill and laid back with the decisions that I make, and go karts and quads and things of that nature where you're flying around doing crazy stuff. I just can't do it anymore, and I guess I have to kind of accept that, and before I literally get killed, because I'm telling you, it's not shit that I'd ever do before and get hurt like that. And it was just like I was more mad about the things, like the fact that I did that rather than anything else. And I'll say to my wife, I'm like, I just can't believe I do these things now. I gotta stop just doing stuff like that. But I'm like, and now it's gonna be like months of like dealing with my finger because I make stupid ass decisions. So yeah, I had to learn. But anyway, that's what happens when you suffer a major brain injury. You just think you can do shit, and then you get in the middle of it. And this is what I explain to people all the time. And it's hard to explain. I mean, it's not really something you can explain to somebody, but yeah, you get in the middle of doing something, and you're just like, what the hell am I doing? And it's not the best thing ever to be riding quads and dirt bikes and stuff like that, high powered machinery, and then be like, "What the fuck am I doing?" And that's how you usually get hurt or killed. And so yeah, I gotta just realize that it's just not my cards. I used to be able to operate everything, and now I just can't. So whatever. It's I guess I'll just stick to trading and have fun with that, and go like kayaking or something. I guess I gotta do things that aren't really like motorized and powered, because some reason things start moving fast and I don't know what the hell's going on. So it is bizarre. And but yeah, that's part of a brain injury. But anyway, let's roll through, see what we're looking at, see what you guys want to see. And that was my exciting weekend. So lots of good times in my world. Anyway, it's all good. Like I said, we'll cruise right through it. It'll just be another good story in my world, huh? But like I said, that's the last one, I think, for a while, because I can't do it. I can't be getting killed. GVH, I'm telling you guys, this thing is getting set up right here. I think this week it's going to be a popper right there. So we're definitely keeping an eye on GVH and seeing what that's going to do this week. And HCTI right here, we've been tracking this one. It's just been kind of running down. I do think that's the bottom right there. And I think you might try to get a little run up on this week. You can see it was over to 20, came back down. I think it's going to try to curl back up there. I've been watching this thing. Hasn't been ready, obviously. And remember, it was down here. It jumped up, and now it's just like got that little flat look. And I think it might be trying to get set up. So another one we'll be keeping an eye on. And BTOG, that Bit Origin, this one does do crypto, and it looks like it does want to run up some more. So be keeping an eye on this. I know Terps Trader and Zach were talking about it. And again, this could have been a run up with a little healthy pullback right there over the weekend and still get cruising. So I would keep an eye on this BTOG. We'll look at that in the morning. And NCNA right here. Let's see what that is up to. NCNA. Let's go ahead and look at that, because it was trying to set up last week and it's still not there. It was pulling back. I do remember jumping up 20s, coming down. Let it just get set up a little bit more. It looked pretty good, and it did run up a hair right there. Remember, it was trying to get set up. It looked like it was trying to get into that channel, but I don't think obviously, I don't think I thought it was going to go in there. I don't think it was ready, and it's not ready, obviously. So we're going to wait for it to get into that channel right there, and it will be a better opportunity. So we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow, if it tries to start rolling off, curling up, and looking better there for NCNA. And this OST is way down here. It was a big dipper, and we're definitely keeping an eye on this thing because it's going to be getting close. I think this week we definitely get a setup on it, and then it's just a matter of picking out what day it's going to get moving. But I think we're real close with OST right there. Oh, crap. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. My screen, I didn't even change it over. I was just talking, and then you guys got to see me doing it. So anyway, we only did a couple, and I can't even think straight. Anyway, thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for letting me know that. And yeah, there we go. Now you guys can see the screen, though. Thanks, Lois. I totally didn't switch that over. And again, this OST setting up, NCNA, we're going to be waiting for. BTOG, we're going to watch tomorrow. Again, that's one Terps trader, Zach, we're talking about. HCTI, I've been watching, and it's almost getting ready, so I'll be keeping an eye on that, letting you guys know. And GVH is getting set up right there, and I'll just check out that. I'll show you guys that one real quick, and then we'll go right back to it. But thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for the heads up. And there's your GVH right there. That guy is getting set up, so absolutely keep an eye on this OST and this GVH right here, because they're both looking good. You can see GVH is looking pretty hefty right there to try to curl right up. So actually, obviously, look at that one. So like I said, GVH, OST, good ones going into this week clearly. So that is what they look like. And here we go. We'll keep on cruising. That ARBK, I wish they were all letters on the right hand side. I can do everything with my right hand, and that's good because I'm right handed. But I mean, you kind of need your left hand to type. Anyway, this one's setting up, guys. It's been running up. We have been watching it the last few days run up, and it looks. I mean, it looks like it wanted to run up some more. It says it was down in the after hours right there. What is it, BK? Because we were looking at that Kathy Ark one that was KB, ARKB. And yeah, I mean, look at it. It's trying to run up here, and it's not looking bad, guys. So keep an eye on that. And of course, this ARKB one right here is popped up there and probably will run up some more into the top as Bitcoin. And we did talk about that one looking good, and look at that, up over 4% there. So that bad boy was a nice one for us for last week, and called that early. That was an easy setup to see right there. And didn't we just click on that on accident because we were looking at that ARBK, and then I started getting confused between the two. But yeah, we clicked on this and I was like, whoa, that's a good setup. But there you go. So yeah, there's always tons of crazy setups. You just got to find them and dig through. So and Laptop Travel said GVH 7 days straight under 10 cents. Will spike or die here? And yeah, it looks like it wants to get rolling. And it might not even get through that MACD, but it will have a pretty good pop up if it just starts crawling up to the MACD. And maybe it will get through, and then it will really pop. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for that GVH. And then again, we've been looking at these guys, ARBK and ARKB right there. And how about OCGN right there? And let's see, it's running up a little healthy pullback. It does not look bad. And we kind of know it's like, you ever hurt your finger or something and you have to start typing and you're just like, how do I do this? It's like my right hand wants to stay on there and do everything that my right hand wants to do. And I got to pick a finger to try to work with my left hand because clearly I can't put my left hand on there. So it is kind of odd when you have to type and you got like a messed up finger or something like that. But anyway, you just got to get used to it and just kind of cruise through. And like I said, I'll get used to it and cruise right through anyway. OCGN, like I said, a little healthy pullback, nothing crazy, and still getting set up here. As we said, I mean, we basically said exactly what it was going to do, and we called this one from way back here, guys. And I mean, like, we were months ahead of time, and not that we thought it was going to go up. We were saying it was pulling back, and we were saying that the chart was going to reverse after it got bottomed out. We found exactly the bottom and ran it up there. So that was a beauty right there. If you listen to the show, that was just fun to follow and see it run up exactly the way we liked it. And QMCO right here was dipping down, and I still think that's that bottom right there at that 725. It looked like it was trying to get rolling the other day and on Friday. And then it pulled back there, so you can see where its low was is where it closed, but it was up over $9. As you can see, it opened up. It wasn't looking too bad and pulled back. We'll see if that's a little pullback and rip situation. And as a matter of fact, we'll go through the computer hardwares and the quantum guys right now. So that RGTI right here is trying to get set up. And remember, we were talking about it pulling back. So we'll see where it wants to, but I would assume that one's going to get curled off right there. For RGTI, whoop, let me see. I just didn't. RGTI. There we go. And yeah, I would assume it's going to come hitting that MACD and curling back up there. and we'll look at the rest of these guys just to get an idea of what their setups are. QUBT right here, that is pulling back, so we'll have to take a look, and that is quantum computing, and that did hit some resistance and does look like it should pull back some more. So QUBT right there looks like it might be pulling back a little bit more. And let's look at QBTS, which is D-Wave Quantum, and that's pulling back as well. So these guys might be pulling back now. These quantum ones, QBTS right here. Whoa. There we go. And yeah, look at these things. They are pulling back, and I have a feeling they might go through that 50 and come back down. They could have a nice dip down there. So we'll be keeping an eye on all these guys. We just looked at QMCO, and let's look at the quantum one right here. This is Defiance Quantum ETF, and that is pulling back there. It had been in the top for a while, and here comes some pullback. So we're definitely coming to the 20 and probably going to see this support line at 87, I would assume. Excuse me. And so yeah, that's that QTUM and IONQ. This was also, I think, was it not pulling back on Friday, if I remember correctly? Yeah, it was. There you go. And might go right through the 20 to that 50 right there. So yeah, these guys are definitely pulling back. So let's look at that ZSPC because, well, ZS. PC. How am I going to mess up the letters on the right hand side? And there you go. That one is pulling back. I don't know if it's going to get in the basement. I'm keeping an eye on this guy to see if it wants to actually curl up and bounce off of here. And again, this one never even ran, so maybe this one's like on an opposite schedule than the other ones. And let's look at our cat right here, Red Cat Holdings. And this one was popping up, but this one has to do with the drone production right there. So drone stocks are flying, and I believe I mentioned this one in the Discord in the morning, and it was popping up there, and you definitely made some money on it if you got in, and we're in there. So yeah, some great calls all last week. They were money. So if you guys were following along, wasn't even aggressive, and we just played the market perfectly and called a couple, and they were moving. Plus Ben Godfather. So it is a great Discord, and now we're really going to start crushing it, guys. So get ready, because I am. And I know Friday I was posting a few that are looking good in there. So that are going to be moving, that's for sure. So here we go. That was what our computer hardware and quantum stocks look like. And that is our cat right there moving up on the drones. And some of these drone ones are moving. And that's with the White House fast tracking things. So that is what they look like. And Holo wasn't looking too bad. And I believe they have a lot of Bitcoin. And I believe that is going to be moving up some more this week as well. So keep an eye on that. Look at that spike up 618 to 1080. And I think it might actually run up as that 20. You might get a little pullback there, but I think it continues. You can see it wants to kind of pull back as it gets set up. So maybe you see a little healthy pullback tomorrow, possibly. I don't know. With Bitcoin running up, it's at 119 right now. It was at 119.5 a little bit ago, and it's hitting its all-time high. So it is cruising along as Bitcoin and crypto looking great. As we had said about 3 weeks ago, it was going to get moving there. And UNH, United Health, and I think this one gets cruising. And we did talk about this last week, and I do think you have a popper right here in the making. So might want to keep an eye on UNH right there, because that is getting set up. WLGS is Wang and Lee, and this was running up on Friday looking good. I remember we did say it should get out of the basement right there for Wang and Lee. It certainly did get out of the basement, and don't mind my typing right now because I can't even type on the right hand side, and that hand's perfectly fine. So don't ask me. But yeah, Wang and Lee definitely running up there, and we'll have to see what is going on tomorrow. Could have been a little healthy pullback there at the end of the day and get rolling up there. So we'll be keeping an eye on Wang and Lee. But it did exactly what we said. It came out of the basement and did run up. So it was looking good right there. So there's your WLGS looking nice. And your GRYP right here. Gryphon Digital mining, this Trump one. Just a little healthy pullback right there. and it has been running up nicely. GRYP, and like I said, a little healthy pullback, nothing crazy. And that CLBR was running up, and Trump Jr. is on the board, and we were talking about this running up, and that looks like a good one to continue its way up there. So there you go with another one, CLBR right there. And yeah, I would keep an eye on that one. Looks pretty good to run. And PSQH, we were looking at this one as well last week, and we have been, and I don't know what the heck I'm typing in, but PSQH, I should just use two fingers now because it's probably a lot easier. And yeah, it's my typing's going to be atrocious. PSQH right here. I should get Dougie and teach him how to type and just have him type in everything for me. It'd be perfect right there. But anyway, PSQH, just running up here, kind of getting set up a little bit of healthy pullback, not even, just kind of running flat as it's getting set up some more. So that's what it looks like. Maybe you see a little pullback here, but I think you see the 20 come up and take it up a little higher right there. And I'm not even sure, I forget what these guys even do. But anyway, PSQH right there. We've been looking at it, and it's not looking bad. And this IXHL right here is getting set up as well. You can see it trying to get into a good spot. It spiked up the other day, a little healthy pullback, and not looking too bad right there. So IXHL. We'll be watching it tomorrow just to see which way it wants to go and see how much it gets set up right there. So that is IXHL. And let's look at Michael Anthony's Clover right here, because it wasn't looking bad. It did have a little pullback. Remember, we were saying I didn't think it was going to get under that support line, but it did. I thought it was going to stay in that channel. It is on the 20. It could have just been some really good healthy pullback and a good opportunity, because Clover looks like it wants to stay set up right here. And again, we'll see if it rolls right off of that 20 there. But that was a good one from last week, and Michael Anthony had that. GIBO right here. This one's been trying to get set up. I think it did spike up, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday it spiked up. And that does look like the bottom there on Wednesday. But we'll have to keep an eye on this one just to see if it really is getting set up here. It does appear to be getting set up, but we'll just be watching it. Make sure they don't pull like a reverse split or something like that on us and it pulls back. Because, if they announce it, it'll dip down pretty good right there. So I need a Dr. Claw chair cat and a metal spiked claw hand. There you go. That would be perfect. And yeah, my wife was like, "Can't you just like talk into something and have it pull them up for you?" I'm like, "I guess, but I don't know. I never really used anything. I was always capable of typing before until I go ripping off like the tip of my finger. But anyway, it'll be all right. We can type with one hand. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, I'll live. I've had a lot crazier things happen. You guys know that. So NVNI pulling back a little bit the other day, but this one had been getting set up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that guy as well, just to see what it wants to do. And again, we're looking at him on a Sunday night, so you don't get the best look. I know, like I say, you got to be careful, cautious over the weekend. You never know what's going to happen. I'm surprised we didn't get any Powell news. I was expecting him to step down, resign, or say something here. So we'll still see. That's probably still in the cards. Who knows? And we'll be having an interesting week this week, I'm sure. As it's been interesting nonstop, in this XBP was running up a little bit on Friday. It did curl through. And again, this one Stock Authority likes, and we were talking about it, and you did get that spike up. It gapped up there to 105 and then pulled back, but it did close up. So that one could be an interesting one, trying to get set up and run up a little bit more. XBP right there, so you can keep an eye on that. And this PCSA, that processor or whatever, this one's trying to get set up. It's hitting that MACD, trying to curl up right there. And we were watching this one last week, and we will be watching it some more. We'll see if it can get up into this little channel and cross through. It looks like it wants to. As you can see, it looks like it wants to cross up a little bit. So I would be keeping an eye on that PCSA as well. We'll watch that one. And ITP has been getting set up, guys. IT Tech Packaging. Look at this guy. This one, like I said, I think I said it the other day, it could have been a popper on Friday. It is running up there a little bit, ITP. And let's see what's up. Yeah, I mean, this one's definitely moving, guys. I must say, ITP, you might want to keep an eye on that one. That's for sure. And SBET is another one that's looking good. Sharplink Gaming, that's a gambling one. I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't think, oh, they do have Ethereum. That's why 10,000 Ethereum, the Sharplink and first such OTC deal. So that just happened the other day, and Bitcoin hits all-time highs. Dozens of treasuries bloom, and they do have some Ethereum, and Ethereum's looking good. Obviously, all crypto's looking good. So SBET has been looking good. I didn't even realize they were involved in crypto, but there's just another one that looks good right there. And this next one looks really good, guys. TMDE. Look at that bad boy getting set up and curling up, looking pretty decent. So these energy ones, like I was telling you the other day, could be getting set up. You could see it open and close at the same price on a Friday, and it looks like it could go anywhere, and it looks like it wants to go up. So we'll be watching that one, that's for sure. And also this Robin Energy as well. This one's been getting set up again. So keep an eye on this. You've had some good run-ups and pullbacks. As low as 295. It got up to 319 right there. And it's curling up to set up, guys. So your 20 is up there. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Not sure if it'll cross through, but again, as they're curling up, and you can see it looks like it wants to try to run. And we know this one recently ran pretty big, and it looks like it's trying to get set up again and do something. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And this SMLR was one Luis Rodriguez gave us, and it was running up, and they had something to do with crypto. And like I said, 14.5 billion unrealized gains on digital assets right there. That's always good if that's this company. I don't even know. What did they even have? How much crypto? They got 3,724 Bitcoin after raising 750 million right there. So there you go. And this one will probably run up some more as crypto runs up as well. And BNR. This one we were looking at all last week, and it was looking good, and it just kept running up. And there you go, guys. It continued to run up there on Friday, BNR. We'll have to look at it again tomorrow to see if it wants to continue to get through that 200 right there, but looking pretty good for BNR. So there you go with that one. And let me just not spill my water. And here we go. BNR, that one looking good. And how about SoundHound? And I think it is easier if I just kind of go with one finger here and type. So I guess that's the way I'm going to have to do these shows. But that makes it easier. When I try to type a sentence, it's easier just to put my right hand and type with one finger. But only for like 4 or 5 letters. Definitely not worth doing that because I keep typing in all the wrong letters. Anyway, SoundHound was up there in the top. It looked like it was trying to get up there too. It had that support line pulled back, and I think you're going to come back down a little bit more and get set up. So you're going to have that little pullback and then bounce up on SoundHound is what it appears like right there. And let's see. Yeah, it's going to come back and roll off. So it did run up. It looked like it did want to go up a little higher, stay up there, but apparently it did not, and it is pulling back there. And how about SOS right here? This one's in the top and wants to curl back up right now. So that one's not looking bad. Keep an eye on that one. This SOS, and it does look like it's right here. It looks like it wants to curl back into the top. You have that little pullback. You could have that pullback right there and it still go up. So I'll watch that in the morning and see what SOS wants to do there. And JAGX looking really good. That one's getting set up as well right here. It was up the other day on Friday, curling up, looking pretty sweet for good old JAGX. So keep an eye on that one, the good old Jaguar right there, because it is trying to get set up. It gets through that 20, it'll run up, and you'll get that Pac-Man look too, so that'll be good. And how about the Cheetah CTNT? It is. Yeah, that's the Cheetah CTNT, down 8 cents. It was running up the other day. It looks like a little healthy pullback. Nothing crazy right there for CTNT. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, it's still up there on the 50. You could have a little more pullback, but it doesn't look bad. And LGHL is the line right here. And I think my fingers just kind of type them in. I can't even think what the stock tickers are when I don't have my fingers. I think they just do it. That's pretty wild. LGHL, look at this guy, the lion, looking like it wants to roar. Weren't we saying that last week? And it jumped up there Thursday and Friday. So there you go at the Lion up over 8%. Not looking bad for that one. So there's your big cats right there. And MLGO was not looking bad either last week. So let's see what it looks like here. It was up on Friday. I know that. It had run up and pulled back there. But again, still trying to curl up here. And we could hear some good China news coming up. Again, when they have like a whole Rolodex of stuff that they can just pop out and make the markets pop whenever they need to. You have tariffs can get cleaned up. You have deals with China, the EU, and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can make the markets pop. But first and foremost, they want these rates down, and that's what we're really keeping an eye on. So that's what we have to factor in, as well as the rates continue to stay up for no reason. OLB right here was kind of curling up big. That looks like a bottom right there. It was up pretty big in the after hours, I think it says anyway. And 185 to 198, and it's at 181. I don't see it up in the after hours, but anyway, it was curling up. I know I saw it on Friday, and we'll have to keep an eye because look at it. It looks like it wants to jump up there and try to run up to this 230 something area. So it's in the 170, 180 area, and we'll be keeping an eye on that if it can get set up. And our good old BTCT, I mean, we ran this up way before it was a big runner, and that was back here because we had it early in like the dollar range, $2, and it ran up over 20 something, like 22 right there. And this thing is getting set up. You're about to hit the top. Could have a little healthy pullback on the top right there, but it is getting set up, as you can see. Your 20 wants to curl up, so we'll see if it pulls back. You could see it trying to pull back and rolling back up as crypto's running, and this usually runs with crypto BTCT. And that is a good one to keep your eye on with the crypto craze right now. REGN, we looked at this last week at the end of the week, and it was looking pretty good. They have earnings coming up at the beginning of August 1st there, and this looks like it could run up to that 599. It's an expensive one, but it's up there looking pretty good for REGN. So you can keep an eye on that. You can see that one trying to run up a little bit higher there. So that one's a good one to keep an eye on. And hey, how about AR right here? I took a quick glance at this. Someone mentioned it, and it looked like it bottomed out right there and was trying to get set up. I'm not familiar with it, but it's an oil and gas one, Ontario Resources. And let's see what they want to do. And yeah, that thing looks like it's going to start curling up. And whether it curls through, I mean, it could. Some of these oil and gas ones, they seem to be getting set up right here. That's a weird look right there. That's all the way down. And that one looks like it's ready. That's AR. And that looks pretty good, BATL. I know we looked at that before. That one's not looking bad. That's probably setting up. So, yeah, just cruising through real quick. And I'll probably have to go through these because they look pretty good to run up. That looked pretty good. So, I would say oil and gas is looking pretty good, guys. That's for sure right there. So, we'll be keeping an eye on that. And I'm trying to think of the oil and gas ETFs, and I can't even think. Is it Gush or something? Something like that. There you go. Gosh, what's the other one? That's the bull. What's the bear? I can't even think of the bear one. It's gosh, and what is it? I can't even think of it. It's just not coming to me. Oh well, you guys know. But look at gosh setting up, guys. I just want to look at the opposite. What the heck is it? Oil, gas. Let's see if anything. Nothing's gonna come up. What the heck? I can't think. You guys know what it is. You can tell me. Um, let's see. Laptop travel or Luis Rodriguez. What the heck is the Boyle? Thank you very much. That's it. There you go. It's Boyle. I knew it was something easy, like a word, but I just couldn't think of it. I'm surprised I came with gosh. But Boyle doesn't even look bad. See these things, and we've seen this with a and there's Drip is another one. That's the other one too. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't. I Drip I think is the other one, but I was thinking of actually. I know Boyle's natural gas, and yeah, Drip was that. That's it. Gush and Drip. That's it. And then it's Boyle and Cold were the other two. So thank you very much, Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez. And Boyle is up. But yeah, let's look at this Drip. This is the opposite one, and that does look like it's pulling back there. And that Gush is setting up right there. But we will take a look at Boyle and Cold. They two are the two that were setting up kind of weird last week, I believe, if I remember correctly, maybe 2 weeks ago. I forget. But this Gush is looking good, and oil and gas is setting up, guys. So let's keep that in mind right there. Oil and gas, Gush. because that looks pretty good. So you might want to keep an eye on them. They're getting ready to run. You can already see that. And let's look at that CKOLD cold. And there's no S. I must have hit an S when I was doing something. KOLD cold, and this is the short natural gas, and this one had recently run up. It's just pulling back, but doesn't look bad. But Boyle did look pretty good right there when we were just looking at it. Boyle looks like it's getting set up to pop up. These two are now looking kind of weird. The Boyle and cold right there. So we'll have to be keeping an eye on them guys, right? Because look at that. That looks like a little healthy pullback to pop up right there. And then the Boyle right here looks like it's trying to set up and run up there. So we'd be keeping an eye on them and seeing what's happening with them guys. But oil and gas looking good, and the Gush looking pretty nice right there. So there you go. And there we are with that one. And let's see what else is going on. Where did I go? REGNAR. We looked at that. Oh yeah, it was at the oil and gas one. I forgot what we were looking at. Yep, that was it. So that's how we got over there. And this one's not looking bad to try to get set up right there. So there you go. And Mr. Drawdown wants to know how to get the list. Oh, you want to know the list that I go through, Mr. Drawdown? Piece of cake. So every night I post the list. I take a picture of it with my phone. I obviously write it with a hand. If you don't even know what it looks like, there you go, guys. I literally handwrite it every single night. And then I post it. I take a picture of my phone and post it on either X or StockTwits. So I posted on both of them, and right around 8 o'clock. So, oh, the laptop 3 a.m. list. That one, Laptop Travel, just posts out, and he always tags me in it, so you can just kind of follow Laptop Travel, follow along, and yeah, he posts that one out at like 3 a.m. every day, basically, right before the 4 a.m. Market pops up. And then if you want his newsletter, you can just click on, he posts the articles for them, and if you click on one of the articles, it'll take you to the Substack, and you can check it out. And his newsletter is great. I was just reading one of the articles right before the show because I had a few minutes, and I was sitting there checking them out. So there you go. And he posted around 3 a.m. and he tags me all the time. So yeah, he posted on X. Mr. Drawdown was wondering where. So yeah, on X. So if you're on Twitter X, that's where most of the stuff goes down. We use that for the most part to communicate with people. And then obviously the YouTube's pretty popular now since I've been live streaming. I can tell a lot of people do hop on. And again, if you're just checking us out, greatly appreciate you tuning in as always. And we do this show 9 p.m. Sunday night through Thursday night, and then we do our pre-market show Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. So we cover the market inside and out and always know what's going on. CPI and core CPI are on Tuesday. So if it comes in hot, inflation could be ticking up higher than expected. So there you go. And X is still around. Mr. Drawdown said, X still around. It is still around, Mr. Drawdown, with Elon owning it, but it is filled with spam and a bunch of bots and nonsense. So we do talk about that. You hear me mention that. And that's what I'm talking about. But it is a good resource, I guess, to keep in contact with people and try to anyway. Like I said, my messages get filled with spam. It's nonstop. It's crazy. But I also get a lot of messages through and see you guys message me and get to respond. So it works out great. And then I had to kind of turn the comments off. But if you do follow me and want me to follow you back, just let me know and I'll follow you back. And then you can comment on any post. I just did that to avoid more spam because that was out of control. So every time I send out a post, it would just get like boom, like 10 of the same nonsense spam things. Like, you need to follow this guy, and I don't even know. It was just crazy amounts of bots. So, but X is still around there, and so yeah, laptop needs it on Discord. Laptop Travel, I'm telling you, follow his get his newsletter, dude. He posts all kind. The last one he just sent out, there was like I was gonna go through them, but I didn't want to put them on there. And without asking him, and I was gonna hop him on right at the end. But like I said, I was just looking at it before he came on. But yeah, he has some really good stock tickers on his newsletter he just put out. So ex CEO did resign. You're absolutely right about that. It was a lady, and she resigned the other day. And so yeah, I remember. I think I posted it out. I said they got rid of her. Can we get rid of the spam or whatever? And so yeah, we'll see who takes over as the CEO. Is it going to be Mr. Beast or somebody? But no, they need somebody that can get in there, clean this thing up, and make it run right again. It used to be a lot of fun, and then it just got like infiltrated with spam. It's just nonstop, crazy amounts of spam. And yeah, create a channel for laptop travel. There you go, Mr. Drawdown. So absolutely, I encourage you to follow Laptop Travel for sure. He's great and posts a lot of great content. And like I said, his newsletter is awesome. So there you go. And here we are. And Tesla now has 1.3 billion in Bitcoin. How about that? Elon was never stopped buying it. He just kept getting it. And he was like one of the, I would say probably the first one, because at one point they were just keeping their numbers up with Bitcoin and crypto. So he was like one of the first ones to do it. And the Fed is next. Absolutely. You're not kidding. So once they start buying it up, you know it'll get real crazy. And you guys know what I've been telling you. It's been going to get crazy. Anyway, let's get back to this. And oil and gas looking good. I know we went on a little tangent, but oil and gas looking really great there. And ALZN with my two finger typing now. Oh man, what I just do? Have to go back to it. ALZN right there. That one doesn't look bad. What's that? A biotech company? I'm not even sure if I'm familiar with ALZN. Let me see. What is this one? Alzamen. I'm not familiar with that, but it looks pretty good to continue up, guys. I'd keep an eye on that ALZN in the morning. I would say that one could be a little momentum runner right there. It was running up there, so Barron Trump being the CEO of X, that would be a hoot right there. That would be great. ALZN, that is looking hot, I must say. Looking pretty good right there. NSPPL, let's see what that one's doing. Simple LTD that had been running up. You might get a little pullback on it. Looks like it was running back up. I'll have to take a look at it over here. I was going to say it might get a little pullback, but it is going to run back up, and you still might get that little bit of pullback, and it still probably will run back up there. And MI right here, NFT LTD, not sure what they're doing. It's an internet retail in Hong Kong. It had run up. Could be a little healthy pullback on that one as well. It's up there and looks pretty good. Like I said, you can see that pullback, but doesn't look bad. So that's one to keep an eye on. NFT LTD. Not familiar with MI right there, the stock ticker MI. And let's see what REVB, isn't that like Revelation or something? Revelation Biosciences. They just recently split right there. I don't, what was it? One for what? One for three. That's pretty good. Might have to watch this. It looks pretty good right there, guys. And a one for three, and it just happened. So yeah, I would keep an eye on REVB on the reverse split right there. That's not looking bad to try to get set up. You can see it never really ran. It tried to, and trying to get set up at the moment for REVB and LFWD. Let's see what that's doing. LFWD right here. LifeWord. We looked at this not long ago. It was at that bottom. I don't remember how long ago we were looking at it, but I do remember it was down in the basement anyway. And it does have a pretty weird look. Let's see. WD right here. Let's see what it's up to. LifeWord. And yeah, I can't say that it looks exactly like it wants to pop at the moment, but I can look at it tomorrow and get a better idea. So that is your LifeWord right there. I'll look at that tomorrow. And SQFT. Let's see what that is doing right here. SQFT at the moment. And this one's not looking bad, guys. Might want to look at it. Might have ran up there in the after hours. We'll have to see if that's the case. SQFT right here. And that one does look like it ran up in the after hours. But I would say what? Laptop Travel and Crew, keep an eye on this guy in the morning, SQFT, because that looks like it might want to keep that momentum right there. That's for sure. And let's look at Oscar. And you know what? I think just using one finger is a lot faster than trying to use two. I think just boom, boom, boom. That seems like the way to do it. Oscar dipping down, and I noticed when I'd run up Oscar Health, people were all about it, and now it's pulling back. I would want to see it come below here in the 13s, and then we'll try to readdress it right there as it hits this bottom, and we'll probably get that bounce up. So yeah, that one's been a good one pulling back, and we will watch that one pull back. And remember what was it, Doge Mama 9, right? That gave us the old silver, and that one was flying up. We went through it the other day, and it went crazy, guys. What was that one? Is it SILV? That's what it is. That would make what the heck was it? What did I write? SILJ. That's what it is. SILJ. That's what that was. That's right. SILJ. That was the Junior Silver Miners ETF. And look at that bad boy on Friday. And they don't look too bad right there, guys, I must say. So I would say Doge Mama 9 was on to something and gave us a little hookup right there. I just went through the charts and told you what they were looking like. They wanted to bounce through. Remember, I said they had them tight bounces. You could easily get through right there. We could see silver getting through and really running up there. And here is SIL right here, Global X Silver Miners. And that jumped up on Friday in a good spot and looks like it wants to keep bouncing up. And ASM, that went up pretty well, over 8%. I remember we marked it down that it was looking good the other day when we went through these Thursday nights. So we literally went through these Thursday night and then bam, there you go. So that was pretty great. And ASM looking good to continue its way up. And SLV right here is that iShares Silver's Trust. And look what that did. And that one ran up pretty well. So there you go. It's silver looking pretty good right there. And let's take a look at a couple other ones. I think Luis Rodriguez might have written these down. I kind of forget, but here we go. SQNS. This one's in the top. I would keep an eye on that in the morning as well, guys. For a little momentum play with SQNS, it could get turned around in the morning and run up. So keep an eye on that. And let's see, TM right here. Let's see what that one's doing. That is good old Toyota Motors. So this was probably Luis Rodriguez. And that is getting set up. That was probably your bottom right there, Luis. At 167, we're at 170. Just watch for any little pullback. But that one is getting set up as your 20s coming down there. And let's get a better look at Toyota Motor right there. Yeah, I think we're getting set back up. That's for sure. So there you go. And yeah, Toyota Motor not looking bad. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. So Luis Rodriguez, he's like the Toyota Motor expert, stock expert. And Lulu right here was looking pretty good to set up, and not that it doesn't. It was dipping down a little bit, so it could be a good opportunity. You're probably going to see that 20 curl around it and bring it up right there for Lulu. Look at it. It'll probably get right up onto that 20 in this week and be looking better. So there you go at Lulu. And we'll be watching that one. And how about Lockheed Martin right here? That was running up, and this thing's getting set up, guys. So definitely want to be keeping an eye on Lockheed Martin right there. And I wonder what the aerospace and defense looks like. Archer's just sitting there. Let's just roll right through real quick. That looks crazy. Airy. Arrow's jumping up there. That's jumping up there. These are all jumping up. Some of them look pretty interesting. That's pulling back a little interesting look. I have to go through these real quick later on and see what's happening with aerospace and defense right there. What's that? GPUS, that's way down there. HII is at Huntington Ingalls, and that's up there right there. I'll have to take a look at some of them real quick. Some of them look a little interesting. And that Northrop Grumman's been getting set up here. It does have earnings on the 22nd, which is what, next Tuesday right there, right? Yeah, I believe it's next Tuesday. Yeah, today's the 13th, so this Tuesday will be the 15th. So that will be next Tuesday for Northrop Grumman. And let's see what else is over here. ASML. Let's see what that's doing. And that has earnings, looks like pretty close. July 16th. Now that is this Wednesday right there that they have earnings. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's see what it wants to do. It's been trying to crawl up. It went through and went down. ASML. I got to take a better look at it right here. Yeah, it's not looking too bad on that 20 right there. I definitely have to take a look. It did bottom out right there, and it has earnings coming up, and it's in between that channel. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, to be completely honest, right there on ASML. And let's take a look at that POWL real quick and see what POW Industries is up to here. And that one's probably going to get rolling off. It might have a little bit of pullback right there. POWL, as you can see, is pulling back. That could even be its bottom, but that looks like it's going to get ready to roll back off in your 20, push it back up. So that's looking pretty good right there. And let's take a look and see what's going on. And Laptop Travel List has a great list. I'll tell you what, a bunch of them set up right there, but I did mark a couple just because I figured it was going to take me a while to type tonight and then try to get through everything. And I'll probably run through we'll probably run through more of the SPY and big cappers in the morning, because again, tonight we're not even going to be able to tell, but we'll do the Mag 7 and go through a few of them there. And let me get used to trying to type. I was trying to get used to it this weekend, and I think typing with one finger is going to be my best bet right here. But anyway, I did go through some of these laptop travel ones, and I'll tell you what, there are some great ones, and I'll show you them real quick. And the whole list was setting up, I'm telling you that, but there's some that look really good, a little bit better than others, and we'll go through them. That might have a quicker opportunity, and the other ones just keep an eye on going into tomorrow. But this ACHV, that first one right there, look at that setup. That looks real good. So definitely keep an eye on this. And I know the second one right here was like BZUN. This thing's trying to get set up as well. You can see it. It was just crawling through, and that one's trying to get set up right there, just a little bit flat, like I said. So we'll be keeping an eye on a few of these. That FKWL, watch this one right here. This one, Franklin, he's ready to get rolling off the bottom right there. So keep an eye on good old Franklin Wireless. That's looking real good right there. FKWL. So that looks like a good setup for this week. And then we had what? The KP. What the heck do I have written there? I think it's KPTI, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I believe that was what it was. And that was it right there. Look at that thing. That thing looks really good right there. KPTI. So I would keep an eye on that. It did run up. I did look at it like this, but you could have another bounce up right there. 645 to 785. It came down. It's at 430, and that's what I'm saying. We might have another bounce up. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one right there, and that is KPTI. And let's see what the MSTY, that is a MicroStrategy one right there, the ETF. We were talking about it last week, and it is running up and looking good to run up higher. So you can definitely keep an eye on that. And this RDI, I believe it is right here, RDI Reading International, and that looks really good to continue to curl up and run through. So you keep an eye on RDI right there, and it looks like it could get up to that 50 and possibly run right through it as it's getting set up on the RDI. And of course, our UVXY is up a little bit right now, and it was up a little bit on Friday. And again, this thing's going to be bottoming out. Remember, I said watch it try to bounce off this bottom right there. I don't think it's getting into the basement, but we'll definitely be getting. Did I jam my finger playing? I wish that's what I did. I wish it was just a quick jam right there. That's not jamming your finger. I cut the whole tip off of my go-kart chain when I was looking for my phone like a crazy maniac the other day on Friday. So yeah, I'm nuts, and yeah, you don't want to lose the tip of your finger. It's painful. I'm not gonna lie. I've done some crazy shit in my life. This one hurts. It stings. It's one of them things where like the whole thing's missing there. My bone's exposed, so you got a lot of nerves and stuff in your fingers, and it just kind of stings a little bit. That's all. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just using one hand now because this one's going to be out of commission for a little while. I already know that. I got to call the hand surgeon tomorrow. Not that I need a surgery, but I got to go to the specialist just to make sure that everything's going to be okay. They x-rayed it, and the bone, the doctor told me, he's like, dude, you're super lucky you just missed the bone. I don't know how, because your bone's sticking out, and you could see it right there. and it more or less ripped, which is kind of crazy and sick, but it ripped down my finger, not up in a way up here towards the fingernail. It did get part of the fingernail, but not as much, just basically the top of it. And then it ripped down my finger. So I'll show you, like, more or less, like, this is all gone right there. I mean, just completely gone. And then my bone sticking out. So, yeah, it's pretty wild, but it should heal pretty well, to be honest with you. I can bend it and all, so I didn't hit any tendons or nothing like that. And again, they did an X-ray and said I didn't hit the bone, and don't know how I didn't, but I got lucky again, I guess, in life, and could have been a lot worse, that's for sure. And so, yeah, apparently it shouldn't be too bad. Just probably a few months of keeping it clean, keeping an eye on it. Obviously, I'm on some heavy duty antibiotics, and I'll be honest with you, dude. I know, because the medical community, they don't give out Percocets very often, and the doctor actually gave me some. So he was like, "Dude, you're gonna be hurting." And so, yeah, he asked me if I was ever had a problem, and of course, I've never had an issue with them. And so, yeah, I've had a couple. I actually only taken two since it's happened. So I took one yesterday, one today, and so, yeah, they. I haven't taken them in years. It's been a long, long time. I'm like, how do people just take these things and try to function in life? I'm like nodding out. Anyway, that's life. And but yeah, you could tell when they're wearing off too, like I said. But then I'll just do the show and pass out, so it's not like I'm gonna eat another one tonight to pass out. I don't see the purpose of that. And so, yeah, I'll just go smoke and be fine with it, and just go to bed and wake up in the morning and be all right again. So, yeah, it's all good. But I definitely, I'm telling you, that was 100% my stupidity. And again, I'm definitely running out of my 9 lives there, Robin. You're not kidding. And that's why I did say at the beginning, there is no more. I'm not doing any more powered equipment things or anything crazy. That was the last straw. I realized, like, I'm telling you, with my brain injury, I my one business partner is like, "Oh my God, you definitely need to stop messing with power tools and power equipment." Everyone that knows me knows. And again, I was fine. I was great with all this stuff before. I could do it with my eyes closed, and now I get in the middle of these things, and it's like I just have like the craziest brain fog. Like, if you had COVID and had brain fog, just times that by like a million. So I'm just like sitting there all of a sudden cruising around, and I'm like, oh shit, well, I lost my phone, and now I'm just making bad decisions and doing dumb shit because my brain just doesn't work right. I'm telling you, it's bizarre, because before it wouldn't have been a big deal, and I definitely wouldn't have got hurt. So yeah, it is what it is. But I learned my lesson, because I'm like, yeah, this should have been way worse, to be honest with you. And I used to take my kid out all the time, and but I hadn't anymore. And yeah, I didn't even have a helmet on. I just went flying out the house without a helmet. I'm nuts, guys. I'm telling you, I don't think I'm just crazy. I've always been a little crazy, but before it was fine because I could think straight, so I could handle being crazy and doing crazy shit and getting myself into crazy situations. It was never a big deal. I would just get right out of it, and it was just another fun kind of deal that I would do. And probably a pretty good story, but I would be fine. And but now, no, it's not the same anymore. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And you can't be doing shit like that when you're flying around. And like I said, my go kart's pretty damn fast. It's not one of them go karts you want to be sticking your fingers out and getting them caught in the chain while it's running full speed like a maniac. I'm telling you, I don't know how it didn't take off my whole hand. So I definitely got lucky with just that. But yeah, just not something I should have been messing around with. And I learned my lesson, I guess, because I'm gonna give my wife a heart attack too. I mean, you imagine dealing with me? Like, I'm pulling back up a minute later in the driveway, and I'm like, got my finger in my mouth, and it's like half of it's missing, and I'm like, "Yo, get out of the pool! We gotta go to the hospital. I just cut the tip of my finger off." And she's just trying to relax and swim with my son, and I'm just a crazy person. So can you imagine trying to deal with me? And so, yeah, it's a little out of control, and I'm gonna get killed. So I just have to not do these things anymore. So that was it. And like I said, I'll take that as being lucky, because like I said, it should heal up pretty fine. And from looking at it, I mean, it doesn't look pretty. I won't post a picture of it. It's definitely nothing you want to deal with, but I'll be fine with it. Trust me. And it should heal up all good. And yeah, if I would have flipped over or something, I thought, dude, Mr. Drawdown, you hit the number one thing. I'm like, I have my fucking finger out. Could you imagine? Like, I got that thing all jammed up, not only cut off like my whole hand, and then fucking flipped the goddamn go-kart with no helmet. I would have been dead right out front of my house. Like, my wife and kid would have came out, and I would have been dead out there. Like, it would have been crazy. I was kind of around the block, but still, it would have been crazy. And so yeah, I can't be doing crazy stuff like that. And that's exactly what I thought. And I was like, well, I guess I only lost a little bit of my fingertip, and it could have been way worse. Like I said, the doctor's like, dude, if you would have hit that bone, you're in a whole different ballpark. And I know any of you guys are medical professionals or ever did that, you are totally in a different, you're in a different ballpark when you start messing with the bones. They can get really infected, and they don't move right, and surgeries. And so, yeah, I think we're just going to have like 2 months of good healing, and maybe 3, a little bit of pain, and I'll move along and take it as my lesson. No more power equipment for me like that, because I'm just too crazy and I don't think straight. So anyway, that's life with a brain injury, guys. How do you like that? And but yeah, UVXY not looking bad right there. And as we're talking about it, the futures were down just a hair, weren't they, Luis Rodriguez? I believe they were like kind of flat or down a little bit. And here's your VIX right here, and it wasn't looking bad. It looks like it wants to make that hard curl up, so that's why we've been on the that's how we've been on the caution, because we think it is going to roll up there. So how'd I cut it, Mr. Drawdown? I told the story, but real quick for those of you just tuning in, since I'm a maniac, I drive around the block real quick with no helmet on, and I come back and I'm like, oh shit, I think I lost my phone. I dropped my phone clearly. I'm like, oh man, let me go back around. So I'm driving back around the block, like halfway back around. And instead of being smart, like you said, and like kind of getting off the go-kart to see if it was on the go-kart, it wasn't. It was in the street. But now I'm halfway around. I never look, so now I'm halfway around the block, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I feel it, because of course the go-kart vibrates, and I'm like, oh, I think it's next to my leg. So I just reached down with my hand, and I was saying, I got long, lanky hands and fingers, and I have zero perception and zero like peripheral vision anymore after getting hit in the head. So I just think I stick my hand straight down. I probably stuck it right out the cart. And then as I'm moving pretty quick, I'm probably going 20 something miles an hour, because this thing cruises, and I'm flying around. My arm probably just swung back a little bit. And yeah, it caught my ring finger. Look, my longest finger is basically my ring finger right there. And that's the one it grabbed. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I pulled it back up, and half of it was missing the tip. And I was like, oh man, that's not good. And I was like, fuck. And then I come pulling up near my house, like a couple houses away, and my phone's laying out in the middle of the street. So now I'm like, have my finger in my mouth because it's bleeding all over. And I grab my phone, and then I cruise back in and tell my wife we got to go to the hospital. So yeah, that's how I cut it, but it wasn't being smart at all. I would have never happened before. Trust me, with a brain injury, I would have never fucking done that. And that's why I kind of say I like I said, I start flying around on these things, and I get in like this brain fog. It's just bizarre. It's not like I used to be able to fly around on things, and I'd be like in the zone, like you could see everything. I don't know. I start flying around. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I'm like, I could still handle this, but no, you can't handle things like that. And again, I'm going to end up getting killed, and I don't need that. So yeah, definitely dumb. And I won't be doing any of that stuff anymore. I promise you. So I'll keep all my limbs and everything else and stay alive. And I'll just hang out and trade on the computer, since I just built that nice shed, and that's what I should do. But yeah, I was just kind of, literally just messing around, not even trying to do anything crazy, and just trying to drive it. But again, I just can't even do that normal anymore. And that's what happens when you get smacked in the head like I did. So anyway, that's all good. Like I said, it'll heal up. I just tape it up with some electrical tape, because electrical tape, I have little galls under it and stuff like that, and it's all cleaned up. I just got done cleaning it, but it is a nightmare because it takes a while to get this thing cleaned up and all taken care of. It's like a whole process and procedure, and it's probably going to be that way for a while. So yeah, you don't stick your head in there moving engine transmissions and shit like that. Will definitely happen. And that's why I say, before. It would have I would have never thought about it. I would have kept my two hands on the steering wheel or my other hand like just hanging out and just drove around. And when I stopped, I would have got out and looked. But no, I don't think smart anymore. I just kind of do shit when and then after the fact that I do shit and break it or get fucked up, I go, damn, that wasn't smart. Why would I even do that? So I do this all the time now, guys. It's nonstop. It's a pattern where I can't do things like this anymore because I'm literally going to get killed. And it's not because I don't know what I'm doing. I just, again, my brain just don't work. So yeah, we all do dumb stuff every day, but like I said, it's since I've had the brain injury, it's everything I do is just I don't see it right. I know I am not in the same like space that I used to be and be able to handle these things. I think I can. It looks like a good idea to me. And then like I say, I get involved in it and then like I'm moving fast and then all of a sudden like I just get all brain fogged. It's like I'm just like out of it. And then of course you're not going to be making good decisions when you're out of it. And this happens every time. So I've learned with just this, I got lucky. Like I said, I didn't hit the bone. It's nasty looking. I ain't gonna post a picture of it. You guys definitely don't want to see it. It's gross. But I'll live. It'll be fine. In a couple months, it'll be all healed up like nothing ever happened. And I'll go on my merry way and I'll get rid of the go-kart because I'm not going to drive it anymore because clearly I'm going to get killed. And it's only a go-kart that I used to be able to drive around. Like I actually used to take it out in the snow if it snowed. And then we'd just like go sideways and slide it down the street. And yeah, I got my phone back. Yeah, after I cut my finger, I went about another 5 houses and my phone was laying right in the middle of the street. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like I could have just waited and not still had all of my limbs. So yeah, I was pretty pissed at myself. And again, I was very mad at myself. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that did happen Friday, like right after the yeah, it's all that matters. I got my phone back and I'm good to go. But yeah, no, I'm not going to make any more. Try not to do anything that stupid anymore so I can stay alive for a little longer because I am nuts, guys. I'm telling you, I'm crazy. It's just the way I've always been. But again, I used to be able to do things like that and it was just, it was just like second nature to me. It was just fun. And now it's like, it becomes an issue like I get hurt or I break shit or something crazy happens. So yeah, there's no more doing that stuff. So anyway, that was my good fun. And that's why I'm typing with one finger now. So anyway, that's that. And we'll get right back to the market here. And here we didn't do well, we were doing UVXY and our VIX is up, like I said. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on these things because I know Forex was a little flat or maybe even a little red in the after hours or overnight, I mean. And here we'll go through this. We'll look at our Joey's jams. I'll go through the SPY and the Mag 7 and some of the big ones right there. And then I see a bunch that you guys want to see. So we'll go through all them. And then in the morning, we'll go through our whole list, our Mag 7 big cap list, and all them guys, and see what they want to do for this week. So there you go. And yeah, we'll fanny pack that slings over shoulder and hugs chest, keep phone and keys in it. It's probably not a bad idea, Chris. I'm telling you, I was telling the story. I was just cleaning out like my sheds, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this go kart in this enclosed trailer because I don't use that either, and I'm gonna just try to get rid of everything because I don't use all this stuff." And then it hasn't ran for like over a year, and I pump up the tires, and then I just literally pull it one time. The thing just fires right up. I'm like, "Sweet, I'll take it around the block." I just hop on it like a moron with no helmet on and just go flying around. And again, this thing's no joke. This thing flies around. It's quick. It's not like a little, like like a pretty like slower go kart. This thing moves, and you can only imagine. I got this thing all souped up, so it flies around. And like I said, I take it out in the snow and just get it ripping, guys. And like, I mean, I'm talking like I'll get it moving like 20, 25 miles an hour in the snow and then just get it to go sideways, like all the way down the street just because I'm crazy and I love it. And yeah, that's the type of stuff I love to do. And I used to have quads and I would do it with all this stuff. So I've done it in my car, like in the truck and stuff with my daughter in the snow and just made the truck go all the way down the side of the street while we were going to pick up our niece. We pulled up at her house sideways and they were were just looking out the window, like blown away. And I just like stopped the truck. I love it, guys. I like love that. I can't do it like that anymore. But yeah, my daughter was just like, holy shit, I can't believe we just rode down the street sideways like that. She thought it was the greatest thing ever. And yeah, my sister-in-law thought I was completely insane. But yeah, I just love doing that stuff. It's so much fun. And but yeah, I just can't do it anymore. Like I said, I get involved in it and it's just like my brain doesn't think clear. And you really got to be like in the zone when you're doing that kind of stuff. Um People that do them things, yeah, they're like zoned in and they could just easily, it's just hand motions. Like you're not even thinking. If you have to start thinking about it, you're probably going to mess up. If your body just does it and it's just, you've been doing it for so long and it's just instinct, almost like looking at stock charts for me, then your body just kind of does it and you can just cruise around and do whatever the hell you want. I have a good friend, I tell you, my buddy that owns the demolition company, Drew. This dude, he can drive anything. I mean, we've been up at the mountains in Vermont and stuff, and he'll do the same thing. We've been driving down like a little street, like a main road that's only one lane each way, and it's covered in snow. And he'll get the thing, and we'll go sideways, and then he'll just like pass cars and stuff while we're doing. Like we're nutty guys. We're built a little differently, I think. But yeah, he's like an incredible driver. He was driving like race cars growing up and stuff. So he can, and he owns a huge demolition company. He handles all kinds of big equipment. The dude can just drive like everything, and he can do it nonstop. But yeah, I always was like, we cruise around, do crazy stuff, but I just can't hang anymore. I just can't do it. But yeah, I love that stuff. It's so much fun. But clearly I can't do it anymore. Anyway, that's what happened. And I thought I could go out and ride on a go-kart around the block, and clearly I can't even do that. So yeah, I was telling my buddy Drew, and he was just like, all right, dude, I think you're done doing shit. I'm like, I think so too, because I am gonna end up dead. And because I just think that everything's all normal, and then I just get into it and it's not normal for me for sure. So anyway, that's what happened. And that's how I kind of grew up, just doing crazy shit like that and loving it. But again, you do it like your whole life, I guess you just get used to it, pulling a two behind a car. Oh yeah, we used to just go stand out on this corner, and then cars would go by in the snow, and then you just run and just jump and slide under and hold the bumper. And I'm trying to remember what the hell we called it. I think it wasn't exactly a good term either. I'm trying to remember. I might not say it, but what the heck do we used to call that? I have to think about it. It'll come to me. But yeah, we used to just do that. I remember we'd catch rides when it would be snowing and stuff. I remember I would just go out and throw an extra pair of clothes and like a snowsuit on, and literally just car hopping. That's what we called it. We called it car hopping, and literally just car hop. And yeah, if the street was covered in snow, you could just car hop to your buddy's house. And yeah, we used to do it all the time. Like we would go to like certain corners where mad cars would be going by, and yeah, like four people would hop on the back of the bumper, and they'd be dragging you down the street, and you just be like hanging on to this thing and having a good old time. And yeah, and then we tie tubes to like jeeps and quads and fly around and do crazy stuff like that. So yeah, just crazy stuff like that. But that's what I grew up trying, like doing that kind of them things. And like I say, I'm used to it, but not anymore, I guess. So anyway, let's just cruise right through our Joey's Jams and do our Spies Mag 7 big caps, and we'll go through the rest of these guys. And yeah, we were so dumb and reckless, Mr. Drawdown. It's amazing that half of us are alive, all the crazy dumb shit we used to do. And it was definitely pretty wild times back then, but way different too. I mean, we grew up a little bit differently than the kids today, that's for sure. And even the generation before us, they grew up a little bit differently. So they were doing hardcore stuff like that too. My dad was always in the crazy stuff, so that's probably where I got it from. And like I said, he's like a Vietnam vet that's seen like crazy action. So I grew up, I was growing up kind of, I was like raised like it was the military, but we did crazy things and had fun. So that's how I grew up, and that's, I'm used to it. But yeah, you ain't taking in somebody at their 45 and just hopping them on go-karts and quads and being like, yo, rip through these woods and have at it. Again, when I would snowboard, I go up to the tree runs, and that's where I hit the tree runs. I stay in the trees all day. So that's, I'm not doing. I've realized after this incident too, because I thought I was going to be able to ski a little bit. I think I'll only be able to ski on like a bunny trail. Just like I said, once I start moving, guys, it's over. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I thought it was going to be a good. I'm glad I didn't go this year, because I thought it was going to be a good idea, and I'm glad I didn't. So yeah, I think next year I'll take my little guy up to some bunny trails and let him try it. And I'm just going to stay on a bunny trail, because now I know. But yeah, if I had gone this year, I probably would have been like, I could do a black diamond, and because I can ride skis or snowboard pretty well, and I probably would have gotten killed. So anyway, that's that. And I know Robin was asking a good question there. Trading platform. The best ones at the moment, Webull, like Laptop Travel saying, because that does the overnight pre-market trading, and you can trade from like 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. So Webull, I just started using it, Robin. I was always an E-Trade person, and I have a Robinhood account. It's just not. If you're gonna do anything, it's Webull right now. I must say, everybody's using that thing, and seems like they got the best technology, because they're the only ones besides that one other broker or whatever that one is. And Thinkorswim is good too. Webull, Thinkorswim, that one's pretty good. Are them two by the same people? I don't even know, to be honest with you. But Thinkorswim is pretty good as well. TOS, people call it. And then there's that one other one that we talk about that's like the publicly traded company, and it's like something IFBK or something. Is that the letters of it? It could be. No, I'm trying to think. I forget what it is. It's something like that. And then that's the only other one that really trades at 4 a.m. So, but basically, it's Webull that I just started using myself. So, good question there, Robin. Definitely not. And there's never a dumb question, guys. Trust me. If you ever thinking of something like that question, Robin, yeah, I bet 3 other people are thinking the same exact thing. We all know that. And so, yeah, IBKR. Thank you, Mr. Drawdown. That is it. IBKR is the other one, Interactive Brokers Group. There you go. I think I had the letters pretty close. But yeah, this one looks like it's going to be pulling back too, and they do have earnings coming up. Thank you. Yep, and there you go. And Thinkorswim is Schwab. Okay, so there you go. Webull is independent. That's right, because Bull is Webull is Bull right there, and it's definitely not Thinkorswim. So that wouldn't make sense, to be honest. So thank you for clearing that up, Laptop Travel, because I wasn't thinking. But yeah, IBKR, that was the one I was thinking about for sure. And that's Interactive Brokers Group. And this one also trades at 4 a.m. there, Robin. So there you go. And Webull, like I said, is probably the most popular one, but I do know this one does it at 4 a.m. I'm not even familiar with this one. I just know it happens to trade early in the morning. And then and Thinkorswim, I think, is pretty good, but I think the best one is probably going to be your Webull right now. And Thinkorswim is owned by Schwab. So thank you, guys. So yeah, that makes more sense there. So there you go. And that's a little platform talk. But yeah, I've been a E-Trade person my whole life, really. And you just basically have to, I mean, now that the 4 a.m. stuff goes on, it's so crazy that you have to be a part of it. I mean, you have to have the option, let's put it that way, because if you want to get maximize things and being part of like a trade, you're willing to get up at 4 a.m. if you can do it, you know what I mean? But if E-Trade doesn't offer, you're like, well, I'm not even going to bother doing this ever because I can never get in. But I guess if you have access to it, you're going to start using it. So it's one of them things. And Robinhood's getting better, but at 7 a.m. Yeah, and Webull has a few that you could trade overnight. Like there's and Robinhood does too as well. There's a few stock tickers that trade all night now, and that'll start happening even more. So Webull is probably the most advanced one when it comes to all that. I'm not familiar with IBKR, but they are also one that does at 4 a.m. So you can always look into these guys, Interactive Brokers. So there you go with that. And oh yeah, 4 a.m. trading's insane, Robin. I'll tell you, man, it's so wild. It's just the craziest thing. So pre-market, we talk about it often, but pre-market used to be at 7 a.m. till 9:30. And then, it would be you get the day started and you have some poppers up there at 7 a.m. And it was a lot of fun. Then they would start rolling into the market and keep going, and penny stocks would run. Well, now with Webull, Robin, we have it starts at 4 a.m. and we've seen stocks and Laptop Travel crushes 4 a.m. and they run so fast. I mean, sometimes it's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's it. You can get on at 4 a.m. and you can be catching your smoke break at 4:20 and be done for the day because it's that crazy. So we've seen once, and I'll give you an example, TNON, for example, and actually Low Country Profits, he may be paying. Listen, and I forgot to mention this. Low Country Profits is a big CNR fan, and he was definitely out in Vegas when we were out there and we were talking. We talked about the TNON, and it ran from $4. Me, Laptop Travel, and Low Country Profits the day bore. We're like, yo, this thing's going. I'm telling you guys, this thing's going to run. I don't know how high. I didn't know it was going to go to $125 in 10 minutes. That's what it did. It went from $4 to 124 or 125 in like 10 minutes. It was crazy. Maybe 15. It was insane. And yeah, Laptop Travel, Low Country Profits. There was a couple people that caught it and ran it up pretty big and had huge profits. I mean, huge profits on it. So yeah, 4 a.m. it ruins a lot of trades. Mr. Drawdown says it's a totally different beast. That's why we do. Yeah, Laptop Travel was sending me the screenshots at 4 a.m. trades he's done in and out in 90 seconds. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. And like I said, that TNON ran from $4 to 125 in a matter of moments at 4 a.m. And when the market opened at 7 a.m., because I had it in E-Trade, the most you could have it at was $15 at that point, and that was the highest it went up to. So yeah, I would say the 4 a.m. market, some of these penny stocks and stuff, and you'll hear me say Laptop Travel and Morning Crew, check this one out because it's going to keep momentum. I'm telling you, these guys, they now these things, and I might start trading them with them because, again, I started using Webull just in the last week or so. So it is a definitely different market, I'll say, than it used to be. Everything just runs differently. And that's why when we get on at 7 a.m. and do the pre-market show, we're kind of just going over what just happened. It's almost like a tornado just ran through the market. You got to see what happened. And then you kind of get ready for the rest of the day because nothing's really running, so to say, at 7 a.m. It's more getting set back up from that 4 o'clock hour and from all that trading. And then, yeah, getting set back up for what the morning's going to open up at. So it is a very, very different market. And we talk about it all the time, and you're constantly keeping up with trends and pivoting. And that's what we probably do best on this show. And I am the one that actually got FinViz to change their charting from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it makes a difference. And again, it was just they used to do great. The pre-market had opened at 7 a.m. You were perfect. That's when the heat map used to change over. Remember, I'd come on the show at 7 and the heat map would change over right when I'd be getting on. We'd talk about it all the time. But then by that point, you had missed so much shit. It was like an entire different world had happened. So it's wild at 4 a.m. So yeah, that's yeah, you definitely got to follow Laptop Travel on X for his 4 a.m. picks. So like I said, he posts them out all the time and he tags me in them. So just follow us both right there and you can check them out. But 4 a.m. is pretty wild, guys. And here we go. Let's go through our Jolie's jumpers and a couple other ones. Yeah, 4 a.m.'s done in 5 to 15 minutes. You're totally right, Mr. Like I said, you're going to catch your 420 smoke break and you're done trading. So that's why I think I'm going to get involved because it's almost perfect. I'm like, you know what? And now, of course, look what I do. But anyway, I'll adjust to that with no problem. And here we go, Agrify right here. Let's check out Agrify because this bad boy is trying to get set up, and just a little healthy pullback right there. Not looking bad for Agrify. So yeah, we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that one. Almost this entire list looks pretty good for Joe Lee's jumpers right here. Blink was trying to get set back up. You could have a little bit of pullback here, but it is trying to get set back up. Well, Sezzle was pulling back. That's right. Sezzle needs to pull back. Remember, we were saying that's going to be dipping down. You can probably take that one on the way down, actually, because it was such a big run up, but that was a huge runner. And Sterling right here. Let me type it in right. STRL. And this one's still running up at the top right there. So I was surprised to see that still bumping up there and cruising up. So we'll see if that gets back into the top. Not sure if it will or not. And Rivian right here is trying to get set up. You can see it trying to curl through right here. It looks like it might bounce down, and it's going to take to another time. So the next setup. So we'll be watching that to just make sure. And it was trying to get set up there. And Symbotic's probably coming down because that was topped out as well. And there you go, your Joe Lee's jams right there. We'll look at our Joe Lee's jumpers at 7 a.m. And so there you go with them guys. We looked at some laptop travels, some good ones on there. And like I said, we'll go through our SPY, our Mag 7, and we'll just look at a couple here and there, and then we'll go through the whole list tomorrow. So let's take a quick look and see what our SPY is doing. And it did close. And again, you're not going to have a good idea looking at any of these, what's going to be really going on tomorrow until about 4 a.m. when the market really opens. But again, some of these Mag 7s, they don't really even move until, 7 a.m. or even 9 o'clock. Options don't get traded that early, but the small caps and other ones, they do. But this bad boy does look like it wants to come down, guys, and I've been saying it. So we will be watching it closely in the morning, that. And there's Apple got some really good resistance up there. It looks like it was trying to run up the other day on Friday and then came back down there. As you can see, it was trying to run up. It was green there for a minute, and then it went red again. And Amazon right here, they had Amazon Day going on last week. So this was running up and not looking bad. We'll look, and like I said, Amazon could run up a little bit more. As you can see it curling up. We'll still have to look at it in the morning to make sure. And but it doesn't look too bad. But then it's going to get topped out. And Google was doing something crazy. Remember I said it was getting set up. It was running up the other day. And Google is looking pretty good right here. So keep an eye on Google to run up as well. That probably looks the best out of them all right now for whatever reason. And here is Meta pulling back, and Meta looks like it's going to be coming down as well. So again, we'll be watching these tomorrow, and I do think we're going to see some of that pullback, and that's why we've been very, very cautious on these guys. And just waiting to see it, but we do have some great setups elsewhere, and I still don't know how Microsoft's still up there, but I am watching this thing. As soon as it makes that look like it's coming back down through this 20, we're taking that ETF down because that one's going to have to run way back down. It's run way up too much, that's for sure. And the video is spiking up in that 4 trillion market cap, and this one's going to get topped out there with that news. So that's what they look like. And of course, Tesla right here. Let's look at Tesla. It's up 364. It was getting set up. Like I said, the chart was looking better right there. It's trying to curl up. I don't think it's going to get through. I think we're going to have a couple more that a couple bounce offs right here. It's going to bounce down and keep that pattern right there as it gets set up. And that's what it looks like at the moment for Tesla anyway. And here is AMC looking pretty good. And GameStop was looking pretty good as well. So we're definitely keeping an eye on them guys. That's for sure. And Chewy, let's see. That one was pulling back, but it might get a bounce. And Unity had been running up. And we'll see if that wants to curl back up there. And just curious what Netflix was doing. Let's see. It was down. Remember, we were talking about it pulling back there. And let me just see what SMCI, these ones were pulling back, and we had gone through some of them other ones. AMD was still setting up right there. That had jumped up. Not looking bad, but we'll have to look at it tomorrow. And QCOM, that one had changed around. it was pulling back. It had been looking good, but I think we might try to, I don't know. I think it might be dipping down. Remember, I was saying it looked good last week, and then all of a sudden it did pull down a little too much. TSM right here was up, but I think we might not make it up there as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to definitely look at some of these in the morning, or all these. Snow's coming down. We had mentioned that last week. And your micro strategy is looking good right there. And your Riot right here was looking pretty good. It ran up a little bit of healthy pullback. That Clean Spark has been looking good. Maybe a little bit of pullback on these, but they're going to get set up to run up. You can see they're hitting the tops right there, not looking too bad. And I wonder what DJT looks like. That one's still going to be pulling back right there. And Fun right here. Let's see. And Fun, it was trying to get set up before. That looked like the bottom, but it looks like it might cross through coming down right now. So interesting. I know Mountain MTN was setting up that pull back, but that looks a little healthy to get set back up. And McDonald's has been looking good, and we knew that. And here is IBM real quick. That's pulling back right there. And Disney was pulling back, has some support under it, but I don't think it's going to stay there. And Oxy is getting set up to run up, and we are keeping an eye on them guys. So there you go with some Mag 7 and some big caps there. Let me see what you guys want to see, and then we'll wrap it up and call it a night and be back in the morning at 7 a.m. You know that. But let's first go through all these and see what is going on. Here we go. Let's see. DVLT. I know that one is looking pretty good trying to set up. I don't know what they do. Data Vault right here. AI. And I know this one had been trying to get set up, so keep an eye on this. It was up in the after hours. That's right. I remember seeing this thing. That's right. It did spike up there. And it did run the other day. And that could be a really good one to keep an eye on. IBM and Turner Global partnership looking to turn it up after Friday's after hours news. So there you go with that. And let's see, what is ANY? I'm not even sure what that is. Fear 3D Corp. That appears to be getting set up. I might have to watch this one. It might pull back right there. ANY, right? I don't know what I'm typing in, but ANY, any? Yeah, it's not looking bad right there. Sphere 3D. I keep an eye on that one for sure. A low flow crypto. They got some crypto as well. I think everybody has crypto right here nowadays. And let's see, a lower flow play, HZEN. Let's see. Is that a coin? Let's see. Is that a coin? Oh, no, it's an OTC. Oh, that's right. We have looked at this bad boy. That's looking really good, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that one might be a great opportunity right there. That HZEN. That's a good call right there. I like that. We'll be keeping an eye on that one, Chris, for sure. So keep an eye on that. And let's see what else is going on here. I'm just going to cruise through and look through all the messages. I know we were looking at some of these anyway. Huge earnings week. Luis Rodriguez posted the calendar. Let me post it out here. Here we go. I'll post out this calendar. Oh, that's the overnight trading. I'll post that out as well. You guys can see the Tesla bull is up. And let's see. Tesla long, biotech. Oh, I posted it out. You guys can look at it. It's all the ETFs and good stuff like that. The overnight leaderboard right there. And let me see, Luis Rodriguez. I don't even see anything. Let me see. I see the Google AI talent deal. Google on Friday made the latest a splash in the AI talent wars, announcing an agreement to bring in Valrin, somebody, co-founder and CEO of an artificial intelligence coding startup, Windsurf. So something like that. So that's what Google's doing right there. And let's see what else is going on here. Hold on. Let's take a look and see. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going through the messages and seeing everybody was when I was talking about my finger injury, so everyone's in there. And Bitcoin, we didn't do crypto. We'll definitely do that. I just knew there was a few more that were on here that I missed, and here they are. IREN. there are a few that people wanted to see. That one looks like it could be pulling back. We'll see if it stays in the top. I know we were talking about this on the small cap show. Speaking of which, small cap show will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And this Cipher Mining had been running up big right there, and that appears to be pulling back at the moment. So yeah, we're going to be watching this market pretty close. There's Boeing not looking bad right there. MicroStrategy looking bad, good. And McDonald's we looked at. So there you go with them. And the S&P futures are down a little bit right there. And GameStop, we did mention they had the Bitcoin treasury. And let's see. Luis Rodriguez said, stupid him lifted an AC unit last weekend with a dolly barefoot, almost broke his toe. Yeah, dude, that's crazy, Luis Rodriguez. I'm telling you, we just do dumb shit. We're guys and we do dumb shit all the time. I'm telling you. So we are wild. That GVH, we're definitely looking at that thing. CRON and Hive, they could run. I know Hive is a crypto type one. CRON, Kronos or whatever. What's this one up to? They're a drug manufacturer. I'd watch for a little pullback on that one to get set up, but that's going to be a good setup right there. In about a week or two, probably. And Hive does look like it could have a little healthy pullback and run up a little higher. INKT was definitely a big winner the other day. That thing went nutty, guys. Look at that thing. Went up 730%. And it was like all the way down here and just went nuts. A biotech company. I'm not sure what they do, but cell therapy right there and testicular cancer. So yeah, like I said, they should be curing cancer when shit runs up like that. And AQMS, let's see what that's up to. Let's see if that's looking good for you there, Chris. AQMS. Am I even familiar with AQMS? Aqua Metals right here. Let's see. Did spike up there. Could have a little more pullback. Let me take a better look at it for you there, Chris. Let me see what Aqua Metals is doing. You could have a little more pullback on it. I don't think it's going to be too crazy. We'll keep an eye on it though. You just remind me we can keep an eye on Aqua Metals right there. And like I said, you could have a little pullback. I don't think it'll get into the basement, but it'll want to bounce off of there. And that's a good thing to look for all the time, is look for these lines for something to bounce off of. That's what they like to do. And so there you go. The quantum stocks overnight are doing well. QUBT with an increase of 2%. So that's good. QBTS is up. And that RGTI is up a little bit. So that's a good look. And Tesla's looking good right there. And let's see what else is going on. And yeah, the dripping, we were looking at them, drip and boil and cold, and then drip. And what was the other one that we were looking at that goes with drip? Holy cow, I remember that one now. I don't. Gush, that's it. Gush and drip. And like I said, that Gush is looking really good. That oil and gases bull is looking good. We were talking about that. And laptop travels list that he talks about, CPI and CPI core on Tuesday. And let's see what else is going on. Tesla now has the 1.3 billion in Bitcoin. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Elon wasn't dumb, even if he's a weirdo. Yeah, he's a strange cat for sure. He's probably a little on the spectrum. He's a fucking genius. That's why. Anybody with that kind of intelligence is usually a little strange. I always say my father-in-law, his IQ's off the charts, guys. I'm telling you, he's not Elon smart, but he's very, very bright. And I mean, we always say he's definitely goofy. He'll be the first one to admit it. And yeah, he's the nicest guy, but he's definitely just a little goofy. And people like that are really smart, they are usually a little bit goofy. And you think about it, they walk around in a world with a bunch of people that they're just like, they don't understand half the shit that these people are doing. And so yeah, they end up being a little bit goofy, I guess. But yeah, that's definitely a normal thing. And it happens often, but all good. So yeah, Elon, he was way ahead. Like I said, he was like the first one buying crypto for any company. With Tesla, they were buying it long ago. He was keeping the numbers up on that company long ago, trading it smart. And now he has over $1 billion in it. So there you go. ALZN definitely looking good there. And Who mentioned SPPL? I'm not sure. Did we look at that one? Oh yeah, we did look at that. That one was pulling back a little, not looking too bad. And SQFT, let's see what that's doing there. SQFT right here. Who's that? Chris. And let's see, that's not looking bad. That looks like it's going to continue to crawl up. Looks like it was going up some in the after hours as well. Yeah, that looks really good right there. SQFT, I'll write that one down right there. Looking pretty good, I must say. And EONR, let's check that one out. Doge Mama 9, let's look at it right here. EONR. That's getting set up. I would watch for a little pullback on this as it gets set up, is what it looks like from there. Let me take a better look. Yeah, it almost looks like you're going to get a little bit more pullback. It could come back down where to say 33 right there, or 30. Could come back down towards that area. So yeah, well, definitely remind me. We can keep an eye on this oil and gas one, but I do think it will get set up right there, that EONR. It's just a matter of letting it get to the right spot. And DUOL right here for Ms. Magdonia. And let's look at this one. Oh, that's in the basement, looking great down there. That was a huge dip down. And let's see if it gets caught up right there on that 200. Let me look at this one a little better. DUOL. You might definitely have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think it might even still have a little more pullback. We'll see if it gets under this 200. I don't know if you're going to have a bounce tomorrow on that just yet, but that is going to be a good one to keep an eye on for sure. DUOL, because that's a nice dip right there. And like I said, it should come on the basement and start hitting some kind of lines to get busted off, bouncing off of there. So there you go. And let's see, Mr. Drawdown, what do you have? HTCR. Let's see what that's doing. I'm not familiar with HCTR. I don't even know what it is. HCTR. I don't see that one. Let me know what that is. But there is, I think, an AGH. I know there's something in AGMH or something, right? AGH. Let me see. AGH we have. There we go. AGH. There we go. Oh, we looked at this before, I remember. And that's not looking too bad. It's crossed over, and it looks like it could actually run maybe a little healthy pullback, but getting set up right there. So that's not looking too bad for AGH. And let's see, what else did you have on there? FBGL, that one was setting up last week. I do remember that one. FBS Global, I remember I was trying to run up there. So let's see, FBGL. Yeah, it was running up a little healthy pullback. That could still get set up to run. You can see that 20 trying to push it up there and could get curled up. So, yeah, that could be a decent one right there. And Mr. Drawdown, Bren Miller. Let's look at BNRG real quick. Let's see. BNRG's down there. Let's see what it wants to do. It looks like it wants to try to bounce off, but it's not giving me that look just yet. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, to be completely honest with you, with Bren Miller. It could level down another one, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll look at that one tomorrow. So remind me, Mr. Drawdown, we've looked at Bren Miller a bunch. So there you go with that one. And then yeah, I was telling the story again of my finger. And this week's crypto week for Congress, we should see a lot of positive gains, big crypto coins and stocks. It certainly will be a big one. That banking thing's supposed to happen too. So I would say keep an eye on crypto. I did tell you 3 weeks ago I was getting ready to run. I posted in the Discord right before it popped and said I would be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Ripple. So you see what they've already been doing. And Mr. Drawdown said he got root canal and crown front upper tooth, and his sinuses are numb. There you go. That's not a bad thing, though. If your sinuses go numb, you won't get no sinus infections. That would be pretty good. And yeah, we were just talking about me being an idiot and cutting off the tip of my finger. So if you're just tuning in, I definitely did that on Friday. And so yeah, that was that. And This laptop travel said the wife police when I want to take off on my motorcycle. My wife tells her daughter, "Go with your father," because she knows I'll drive safer if she's on the bike with me. And honestly, it's funny because I usually take my little guy. He was in the pool next door, like I said, and he was swimming. But yeah, I usually take him, and then I drive all nice and easy, and I get on it, and it's like I'm a freaking maniac, guys. It's like there's no rules, and I don't know what the hell's going. I just go nuts. I'm like, go kart, brah, and just go flying around like a maniac. And yeah, I'm crazy right there. So, and Mr. Drawdown said his neighbor's mom on a mini bike ran into the back of an SUV going 30 to 40 without knowing how to brake. Still alive, but broken nail. I bet she did break a nail right there. Yeah, that's mini bikes are fun. Had a couple of them too. They're pretty cool. I mean, you can practically drive them around now on the streets. No one even cares because all the electric bikes and stuff. I mean, you basically drive anything around. I don't think anyone cares about anything anymore. It's pretty wild. I had a moped back in the day, so I had a license. I had a moped license when I was 15, I think you get them. And yeah, so I used to have a moped, and so yeah, I've always been doing crazy stuff, like I said. But anyway, there you go. And let's see, Thinkorswim, we were talking about all that stuff. And VNet, what's that going to be? Laptop travel. Let's see what VNET is up to right here. Maybe if I type it in, it'll help. VNet. That one looks like some momentum play right there. I'd say that looks pretty good right there. Laptop travel. I do like that for tomorrow. Let's jot VNet down. That looks pretty good. So there you go. And let's see. Yeah, kids today, they all get carpooled around. They don't even care to get their licenses. It's kind of crazy. They're just like, yeah, there's Uber and there's this and whatever. Like we got it like the day we turned 17. We were like there taking the test and stuff, like not going to school so we could go take our driver's test and do crazy shit. So yeah, we were doing crazy things forever. And so we were talking about Webull and what goes on at 4 a.m. and what trades at 4 a.m. So there we are with that stuff. And let me see what else is going on. Just trying to see if we missed anything because I know we were talking a lot about the 4 a.m. and it looks like a lot of messages from there. And it does usually drop after 6:30 through 7 a.m. That's for sure. The market, it's popping at 4 a.m. It can run till like 4:15, sometimes a little later, but it doesn't necessarily need to. And then yeah, it kind of just chills out for a little while. And yeah, his last laptop travels last runner on in the morning was SafeX, and I remember this one we talked about it, and it did pop up pretty big. And there you go, right there on what Thursday that was. And let's see, 15-minute chart Thursday, and you'll see pops all the time like that. Yeah, it's crazy. And Cadence, how are you this evening? Curious to know how laptop travel knew to stay in until 100 plus. Actually, it's funny you say that. I think Low Country Profits definitely told me that he had sold it a little early. He wasn't in it until the very top there, but had still made a fortune. So I mean, when it runs from 4 to 125, even if you catch it and sell it at 70, you're still making a fortune right there. So you don't necessarily have to catch it all the way to 100. It did run, like I said, it ran and it spiked up so fast, Cadence, that it was insane. Like you almost, it was within like 10 minutes. So if you're watching that thing, and that's what Low Country Profits, he told me what happened when I saw him out in Vegas. He was telling me exactly. He was like, "Yeah, dude, the thing spiked up so fast that it went off the chart, and he didn't like kind of zoom out his chart. He just thought it was going to pull back, but it was already up so much money so fast that he just sold, and then it went up a lot more, obviously. But he had still made he made like a yearly salary in 5-10 minutes, so he wasn't upset. And I know Laptop Travel sold it up there pretty high too. I don't know if he caught it into the hundreds. I forget what it was, but they had showed me they had all showed me that morning all their trade stuff. I saw it all like with my own eyes. It was insane. And so yeah, they were making yearly salaries that morning. And again, you didn't even need to catch it over 100. Anywhere from that 4 to like 80, you were still making a fortune right there. Just think about it. I mean, if you had like even 500 shares, you were making a lot of money. So you were doing pretty well, that's for sure. But yeah, I know that they did show me their trades, and both of them did make a fortune. There was one other person, I forget who it was, had made a bunch of money that morning as well. I'm trying to remember who it was, and I can't think of the name. They used to listen all the time, and they listen to the replays. I talked to them. It'll come to me, but I just can't think of it at the moment. But anyway, there you go. And that C pop, so yeah, Cadence, that's what happened that morning. And again, they moved so fast like that. So and they all bought in the day before, because we knew it was going to run, not knowing it was going to $100, but we knew it was going to be a popper. And we were group messaging about it. And again, I wasn't in it because I couldn't get big into it because I didn't have Webull. So I was like, yo, guys, this thing's going to pop. I bought a couple shares because it was cheap at 4, and the highest you could sell them at was like 15 something that morning on E-Trade when it opened up at 7 a.m. It was down at $15. But yeah, it was pretty wild. I remember Laptop, they were texting me at 4 a.m. and I was like, what is going on? And the thing went nuts. It was just one of the craziest things. TNON. I'll never forget that. And that was crazy. But that's what happened, Cadence. And yeah, it's just like one of them things. When they run up like that, you just start looking at the candles wicking up. And then at some point when it wicks like really high, you kind of know it's not going to hold itself up there. So that's what you look for. But again, even if you don't catch the very top of these things and they run up like that, you still do very well. And they were all making yearly salaries that morning. And like I said, like 10, 15 minutes, it was wild. So that definitely happened. I'll never forget that one. So, and yeah, Laptop Travel, he's been doing this for a really long time. So he looks at his candlesticks and he can tell. And as long as you're locking them in when they're going up like that and they spike up and you're getting out of them, locking in them profits, and you can turn them over, you're in usually pretty good shape. So that is what it looks like. Oh yeah, and CPOP, let's look at that one. That was that China one. Pop culture group, and that did pop up the other day, but then pull back right there. Let's see what it wants to do right here. C pop, and yeah, it is pulling back a little bit there. So there you go. It was a $30 million placement. Is that what they said? I don't even see anything, but there you go with that. And Bitcoin, we didn't even go through crypto. We'll do that in a second. We looked at VNet, and there you go. And yeah, Cadence, just follow Laptop Travel. Follow me. Like I said, Laptop Travel, he's on at 4 a.m. And I'm probably going to start hopping on pretty soon. I was planning on it, but my schedule might be a little messed up right now with my finger being jacked up, but I'll be good. And let me get used to it for a few days and I'll be all good. You know that. And we'll be all good to go. So yeah, there you are. And HTCR, let's see what that is, Mr. Drawdown. We'll wrap them up after this. And we'll come back at 7 a.m. and see what's going on for our pre-market and what's going to be happening this week. It's going to be an interesting week. As always, HTCR not showing me a whole lot right here. Let me take a better look at it real quick. It's trying to move up there. I have to see tomorrow what it wants to do as it hits that 20 right there. So I'd have to look at that one. And CAPS right here, caps. And that looks like a weird one, a building material. They have roofing caps or something. CAPS caps. Let's see. It is curling up right there. It's got some resistance to get through. It could get into that channel. Another one I'd probably have to look at in the morning to give you a better idea, to be completely honest. We looked at that Bren Miller and FBGL. So there you go. IVP. I remember we looked at IVF, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Inspire Veterinarian. I remember this one. Wow, look at that big dip down there. That could be a good one to keep an eye on with that huge dip. Looks like it's almost the bottom right there. Bitcoin did hit 120. That's beautiful. So we'll have to look at that. HTCR. That's the one that you wanted to see right there. I know you mentioned one. Oh, Hardcore right here. Let's look. And that's not doing a whole lot. That 20 is coming down. It might not get through right there. So we'll definitely have to look at that. And 14 moped license. I think we had to be 15. So I'm pretty sure New Jersey we were 15. Um, but all good. 14. I'm trying to remember. It could have been. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. And Laptop Travel said he likes NIO auto manufacturer in China, and that does look like it has some good momentum there in the morning. So keep an eye on that. That does look like it could cruise up a little bit higher right there. And let's see what else is going on. Peninsula Life. Thank you, Laptop Travel. That was the other person that that ended up smashing that out of the park. It was Laptop Travel, Peninsula Life, and Low Country Profits. The three of them just destroyed TNON that morning, and I'll never forget it. And I saw all three of their P&Ls. They all sent it to me, and they destroyed. Like I said, all three of them made a yearly salary. Not even combined, each of them. So it was crazy. And so there you go. And Iowa is 14. I believe that. In Iowa, I could see that. New Jersey was 15. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and yeah, my license is always a different amount than everybody else's because I had a moped license. So my license is actually cheaper because I had a moped license. Don't ask me why, but it is. So some odd reason. But did news or PR come out for this weekend on crypto acceptance with the banking system? I don't believe it did come out yet. A good question. We'll go through crypto. Bitcoin is almost at 120. It looks like it did get up there though, like Laptop Travel was saying. It did hit 120,103 right there. I did not see anything about it, but it is looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. For something to happen, I'm just looking to see. I didn't see any news, but again, this thing's just running up here looking great. You're supposed to see something happen, and you can see Ethereum up there, Solana. I mean, they're doing exactly what we thought they were going to be doing. Ripple's ripping back up at 290. Doge is looking pretty decent right there. It's kind of leveled out, pulling back, but going up. Cardano's been going up. Link is going up. Everything's looking good on the crypto side. So, yeah, I didn't see anything with the banking system yet, Zach. I think it's going to happen this week, and they're going to fly up even more. And that's what I was talking about. Probably what I saw 3 weeks ago, and I was telling you guys crypto was going to get ripping, and kept saying, and yeah, Cadence, I definitely need to be in a bubble. You're not kidding about that, yeah. And for those of you just tuned in, I won't go through the whole story, but I did cut off the tip of my finger pretty bad. You could see my bone, let's put it that way. And I'm not going to post a picture of it. It's pretty nasty, but I got lucky apparently because I didn't hit the bone. And I was riding my go kart. And again, I have a brain injury, so I don't think very clearly. I go in like these brain fogs. Dropped my phone, and I thought I was just reaching down because I thought it was down there, and I'm got long, lanky arms like this, and I guess I put my arm outside the go kart, and I didn't notice, and the chain's right behind the wheel, and I'm doing like 20 something miles an hour. My arm probably swung back without me noticing, and yeah, my ring finger's definitely the longest one, and it got caught in the chain as it was going full speed. So yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, what was that? And I pulled my finger back and it was just gone. Like I was like, whoa, and put it in my mouth and was just like drinking blood for a little while. And then I found my phone a couple houses down, so I didn't need to do that. And then yeah, I had to come in and tell my wife who was in the pool and tell her that I just cut the tip of my finger off and we need to go to the hospital. So I'm a maniac, guys. But no more. I told you I learned my lesson for sure. I just can't do shit like that anymore because I definitely have a major brain injury and I get involved in these things and I just get into this brain fog. It's bizarre. Can't even explain it. I used to be fine, but not anymore. So before I do get killed, I'm going to stop because, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Honestly, it should have just taken my whole finger off, probably. I mean, chain's huge on them things and it's moving pretty damn quick. And yeah, and the fact that I'm pretty lucky. So I'll take it as a lesson learned, and I'll have to deal with this for a few months. Probably it'll be healing up, and I got to call the hand surgeon tomorrow or a hand special. I don't think I'm gonna have to have surgery or anything, but I have to go see the specialist just to make sure. So anyway, yeah, that's what happened. I'm a maniac, but duct tape. I use I use duct tape, and you can see I wrap everything in electrical tape. I'm telling you, I was saying at the beginning, I literally carry rolls of electrical tape around with me because I use them for band-aids. They work better than band-aids. They're waterproof, and you put them on, they stop the bleeding like immediately. I don't know, that stickiness, and I've never had an issue. So yeah, and you can get different colors for the kids. They always like it. And it's way cheaper than band-aids. I know that shit. You can buy a whole pack of them at like Harbor Freight for like a couple bucks, and you have like huge rolls of electrical tape. So yeah, I have electrical tape everywhere, and I always use it. So you'll see me. I got to rewrap this thing every day, so I'll be going through some. I might have to go buy one of them big rolls of electrical tape because I think I'm down to like 2 rolls of it. That's how often I use it, guys. So yeah, I'm a maniac, I'm telling you, but I'm not going to do crazy things anymore. I'll just stay focused on trading and keeping all my limbs and staying alive, and we'll grow our accounts. How's that? That'll be more fun. So, yeah, there you go, Zach, and no problem. Like I said, I do think this week is the crypto week with Congress, Senate Banking Committee. Had hearings last week. Ripple CEO spoke on Wednesday, and like I said, that is supposed to start happening in the next few days. So crypto looking good, and we'll just take a quick look at these news, and I'll look at everything else tomorrow. Wall Street slips with Asia stocks, huh? Wall Street slips with Asia stocks as U.S. trade policy confounds. I don't know what they're saying. U.S. stock futures slip as tariff concerns mount ahead of earnings, and China's growth seen outpacing target, easing stimulus pressure. Dow futures dropped nearly 200 points after Trump slaps 30% tariff on Mexico and the EU, and the U.S. stock futures slip after Trump's latest tariff threats, and Bitcoin hits all new all-time highs. And like I said, it was at 120, and there you go. It's about to get back there. Solana at 165, Ethereum back over 3,000, Ripple at 291, and there you go, guys. Crypto ripping along just like we talked about, and everything else. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty fun Sunday night. A great story about my go-kart and finger, and we won't have any more of them accidents, hopefully. But I'll have to type with one finger for a couple weeks or a month or two, I guess, and we'll be all good. I'll push right through, and that's all good for me. And I'll learn a lesson. Like I said, it probably should have been way worse. And when the doctor tells you you're definitely lucky and your bone's hanging out of your finger, and he's like, dude, you are like the luckiest dude I've ever seen, after I just told him about my brain injury. And he's like, I don't know how you missed your bone, but if you would have hit it, it would have been really bad. And I'm like, well, that's cool. So yeah, I'll just take it as I got lucky. And I'm missing a lot of my fingertip. It'll grow back. Your fingers do grow back. So, not your finger don't grow back. Your fingertip, the skin will grow back. Put it that way. Your finger won't rejuvenate itself, and I don't need that to happen. I still have it on there. It's just like I said, if you were to be looking at it, it's all more on the underside. It got up to like the tip of the nail up there, but it really cut through down there for the most part. So I guess I got lucky. I think if it would have been more on the top, your bone's up higher like that. So that's where it came down, and you can see the bone just sticking out right there, and it just got everything there and just ripped it right off like it wasn't there. But that's what happens if you stick your finger in a go-kart chain when it's moving full speed. It's probably not a good idea. I'm not gonna lie. So there you go, everybody. That's what happened to me. That's our pre-market. Yeah, that's our Sunday market review. And we'll be doing pre-market at 7 a.m. So for those of you just tuning in for the first time, and everybody else, I greatly appreciate it. Everybody chiming in and everything. Great show as always. And take a finger over a front tooth. I don't know. I'd lose a front tooth. You can get them pretty easy. Your fingers, you don't really get them back very easily. You can get some fake teeth. That's not too bad. And probably a lot less painful too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've done some pretty painful things in my life. This is definitely up there. And again, it's just all a lot of nerves exposed, and it's just kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Just one of them things that's just kind of painful. So it is what it is. It stings and it's a little annoying, but I'll live through it. And it is a 50-50 shot. Take the finger over a front tooth. I'm taking a front tooth out any day of the week over losing a finger. I'll just go right to the dentist and be like, "Yo, pop in a tooth and we'll be good to go." And yeah, hockey players, ask them. They'll take out teeth any day of the week. They'll keep all their fingers. You need your fingers and your toes to be able to do things. So your teeth, you can get them and still eat. So I think that might be that. And UNH, I'm telling you, is looking really good, guys, for tomorrow. So keep an eye on that for a pick of the day. And I really do like this HZEN. I forget who mentioned it, but somebody had mentioned it. Give you credit, but it is looking really good. So you keep an eye on that bad boy. That's Grayscale Horizon. So there's two of them right there. And that VNet was looking really good, laptop travel. You had mentioned that VNet right here. And this thing's looking good for some momentum. So there you go. I'm making you feel better. It hurts. Well, there you go. Like I said, you don't want to lose a finger, a tooth. You'll get through having a tooth out. Trust me, it's no big deal. You'll definitely get through that. Your finger, I'm telling you, man, you don't want to be cutting off the tips of your fingers. It has a lot of nerves, and like I said, my bone's exposed. So your tooth, they'll just pop a new tooth in and be like, yeah, a week or so, you'll have a little bit of pain. Get used to it, and you'll be up and moving. Ask hockey players; they do it all the time. They ain't worried about teeth. They're like, yeah, tooth, no big deal. Leave all my fingers and toes intact though, because you need them. So yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, they all hurt. Don't get me wrong. You ain't trying to get busted up by doing anything, but sometimes if you had to pick, I'll take I'll take a tooth getting knocked out. Not that I've had many happen, so I don't know, but I just know they're easier to replace than dealing with your fingertips getting cut off. So it could be a lesser amount of time, lesser amount of pain kind of deal. This is what I look at, and again, looking into the future, I should be fine. I shouldn't lose any kind of mobility, but like I said, I know in New Jersey, every one of your limbs and has already got a payment, like a dollar amount attached. I don't know how many states are like that, but it's definitely like that in New Jersey. Your big toe is your biggest winner. So if you lose your big toe in like work or something, that's the most amount of money you get awarded. And trust me, it's not that much money. It's not enough money to really live. They give you like 150 or $200,000 or something and tell you to go on your merry way. You're like, dude, I can't even stand that well because I can't balance myself without a big toe. But yeah, like your pinkies and stuff like this one probably would be a pretty cheaper one. And so yeah, I've actually seen that list before. Not I know because when I had mold poisoning in New Jersey, they explained it all to me, and that's how I found out about all that and learned about it all. But yeah, I would say you're trying to keep all your toes and fingers, to be honest with you. And if you had to choose between a toe and finger and a tooth, I'm going tooth any day of the week, and just going and getting a new one. So might be a little painful, but throw a little word gel on it and you'll get right through. So interesting little conversation there, Mr. Drawdown, to end the show. And but I do hope you feel better. You've been eating soup because you're scared to eat meat, and just cut that shit up real fine. That's all, and you'll be good to go. And yeah, that's you get around everything, dude. We're like animals. I'm telling you, if you just go and do shit and act like an animal, you'll just do it. That's how I look at things. But again, I can't do certain things anymore with a brain injury. I was like that my whole life, where it just didn't matter. I would just go and do things, and I was fine. And now I've actually realized, I guess, 2 years later, and hurt myself multiple times more than I really needed to, and cutting off the tip of my finger, that I'm just not able to perform and do things that I grew up doing all the time and was perfectly normal, fine doing, like hopping on go-karts and quads and things like that. I'm going to stay away from them and just kind of envy the fact that I can't do it anymore. That's all. But I'm still alive. So I say I live a very blessed life. I'm blessed to be alive, and I'll have to look at that positive side of it. So, yeah, that's it. They always said don't chew a bone. Yeah, dude, you'll be fine. Don't chew on any bones. Cut that shit up real fine the first time, like real small and real fine, like you almost pureed it, but don't puree it. Just do it with a knife, and you'll be totally fine. Just eat one piece at a time, and you'll get right through it. And once you get through one time, you'll be like, oh, that was easy. You just got to build up that confidence and know that you're safe. But I get it. And because you're like, oh shit, I don't want to get hurt again. But you just do it real slow steps and small, and build up that quick confidence so your brain and your body knows that you're safe and you're good to go. And then boom, there you go. And that's my problem, because I think that I can do these things. And and again, I think my brain sometimes tells me not to do it. And I still go, I can do this. But again, I almost think like my brain was telling me not to get on the go-kart, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll be fine. I'm just going around the block. And just around the block, you can get killed, so, or lose your fingertip. That's for damn sure. So yeah, lessons learned for sure. But anyway, that's what happened, and I laugh about it because I'm a nut. But keep all your fingertips, because I promise you, it's pretty painful. It's not something that you want to deal with. And again, it's more or less I got to deal with it for like probably the next 2-3 months. This thing's going to be jacked up. We have all kinds of. This is what I was mad about. We're going in the hospital. I'm not even mad. I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now? Like, I'm gonna have to deal with this for like the next 2 or 3 months. We have a bunch of vacations coming up and a bunch of shit I wanted to do. And here I am dicking around with like a fingertip miss. And my wife's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, that's what you're mad about? I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be like the biggest inconvenience ever. And she's like, all right, just calm down and let's go to the hospital so you can get this taken care of. But yeah, that's what I was mad about right off the bat. I was like, are you kidding me right now? So yeah, that's the inconvenience part. And again, I was like, man, I got to learn how to type with one hand and blah blah blah. But again, it's not the end of the world, and I'll be through it. And like I said, 3 months will go by like that, and I just have to deal with this for a couple months and just make sure it don't get infected, really. But I think I'll be all good, and everything will be fine. So there you go, everybody. So that's what happened to me. I'm a maniac, I know. And we'll be back at 7 a.m. You know that. I'll be back to do a show, and we'll be back trading and locking in some profits. We got to see what the SPY's up to tomorrow and this week. It's going to be such an interesting week, guys, but I think we're starting to get that look. So we're going to be able to tell and be able to play the market accordingly, which is great because we'll hit it every which way. You guys will see that. And there you go, everybody. So thanks again for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to follow along on X and YouTube and all that. And again, X, I do post out the list every night that we go through, and also Laptop Travel. Follow him, and he always tags me on it, but he posts out the early morning list as well. So, and Trump treating more tariffs. So yeah, they want the market to pull back before they get the rates cut down. So I think that's what you're really seeing right there. So that's what we're looking at. And there's Michael Anthony hops on at like 11:20. You want to look at Chewy was actually pulling back, wasn't it? I forget. Yeah, Chewy was pulling back right there. And what's T? Is that AT&T or right? Yeah, AT&T, and that's pulling back. But I'll take a look at that tomorrow because it could take a bounce right there, Michael Anthony. So and our pick of the day, what do we even say? Laptop Travel. I forget what the heck we were even saying. UNH, that's right, NIO and MicroStrategy. So yeah, all of them are looking good, and also that VNet's looking pretty good to try to continue up. So you could take a look at all of them right there, Michael Anthony, and listen back to the show. You can listen about how I lost the tip of my finger since you just tuned in, and I was talking about it. It's a great story on my go-kart. So there you go, everybody, and we'll be back at 7 a.m. Be sure to follow along X YouTube. We post out the list. Follow Laptop Travel, and his like I said, his newsletter is great. You can check it out, and there you go. So, and futures are down. I'm not sure. I think we're going to see a little pullback there, Michael Anthony, and be on at 7 a.m. because we're going to be breaking down this market because it's going to be an interesting one. That's for sure. We've been looking at this pullback here, and it's bound to happen. So we're going to see what's happening here. And you also have crypto Bitcoin just running to 120,000. It's over 120 right now. So there you go, everybody. And because Trump is going on to tariff Canada and Mexico, yeah, and the EU or something. So all kinds of tariff news and all kinds of good stuff. There you go. Mexico and the EU with a 30% tariff and all that good stuff. So is that there? So isn't here a reason why if you, oh, well, you know, tariffs are going to make, like I was saying, he's using these to control the market. They're going to pull the market back before the rates get lowered. You just already know that's going to happen. And if you just want real quick before we hop off, let's just see what it looks like. No change. Yeah, I don't think they're going to change. I don't know. I mean, that could really kind of cruise up. I don't think it's going to get changed. They could mention something, and in July, obviously, but you can see obviously this blue. We already knew that was going to crawl up, and this was going to crawl down. So you're definitely getting a 25%, a 0.25, and you're getting one in October. So they're going to be your next two. I don't think you're going to see one in July. I'd like to see Powell step down, though, that's for sure. So that would be pretty good. And so there you go, everybody. I would say that is a good market review for a Sunday. Fun times, good go-kart music, and crypto Bitcoin hitting 120,000 there. So there you go, everybody. And like I said, markets are going to be firing up, at least crypto is, and we'll see how this market, the stock market, could have a little pullback, and then it's going to get cruising. So we've been talking about exactly what's going to happen. So expect a little pullback, and then it will get cruising there. And plus, you got a Trump Powell feud coming to a head. And so yeah, that's it. And and Michael Anthony, yeah, but I'm telling you, Michael Anthony, Trump keeps his mouth shut and leads the nation instead of doing the crap he's doing. Look at the market; it's at all-time highs. Bitcoin's never been to 120,000. The SPY's never been so high, and he's just getting started. So I would say he's doing a pretty good job at running his mouth and doing things. So I would say keep his mouth open because the market's never looked this good before. I can promise you that. And I was telling you this a while back as well. Before the markets even ran to all-time highs, I was the one that said it was going to run the all-time highs there for a good 3 weeks. And there was no reason that these rates should be pulled down. And again, he's just it's tariff talk right now to make the market pull back because they need the rates to come down as well. And I don't think you're going to see them get pulled down in July. So now they got to stretch it out. We don't have anything happening next month. So you have to wait until September and October for the rates. So that is the tariffs all start August 1st. That is a beautiful thing. Country will make a ton of money. So they've already made a surplus of money on just a little bit of tariffs he's been doing. And so yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on. You remember when everybody was talking about that the tariffs wouldn't be good and they were going to hurt the country? Well, guess what? The country has like made 300 million or $1 billion in tariffs already in a couple months, and the markets are at all-time highs. So you tell me, are tariffs really that bad? I don't think so. And again, everything is always based on speculation, Michael Anthony, just like I told you. Powell is playing political games, and there is no speculation here. The speculation's gone. The speculation should have been speculated before the election when Powell was playing political games there and lowering the rates when they should have never been lowered. And now he's not lowering them because he's playing political games. I pointed it out both times. And again, the charts never lie. So that's how we do it on here. And that's all we're waiting on. Earnings, Powell, and tariffs. And that's it right there. And so, yeah, I think we do see that pullback coming. We've been looking at it for a few weeks now. Going to happen. And I would love for it to happen. We'll catch some great opportunities. We'll take the market down on the ETFs. And crypto's ripping, guys. Who told you guys to get in early? So there you go. I'm loving it, guys. And we're going to be destroying the everything in the Discord. So there you go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, everybody. And again, follow along on X and YouTube and all that good stuff. We'll be on at 7 a.m. to crack the code of the pre-market, see what's going to go on this week, find out what's popping, and see how high cryptos keeps running there. And we'll check everything out in the morning. So have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys at 7 a.m. Have a good night, everybody.